Hello, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. My name is Irene Sukandar. I'll be your host commentator tonight or this afternoon um, in a friendly match between Grandmaster Harika Dronavalli from India versus woman Grandmaster Zhu Jiner from China. And this friendly match is sponsored by Qatar Chess Association. And today we're going to see the final day, the final games of the match. The first game of the standard time control, it was won by, sorry, the first standard game it was drawn, and then the second standard game was won by Zhu Jiner. So today Harika is in need to win most of the games in order to catch up with Zhu Jiner. So without further ado, I think the first rapid game will be starting anytime soon. We can take a look in the broadcast. It might not be okay. So currently the score is 1.5 and half for Zhu Jiner. I will just manually follow Harika in this lead chess and then take a look at her game. Okay, so the first game is already ongoing, and the first game of the rapid is it is going to be interesting again because now yesterday we saw Harika was also white, and yesterday she opted for the first move d4, and now on this game the first move is knight f3, trying to get into some ready position. Knight f3 d5, g3 knight f6, and then c4 e6, bishop g2 d4. I was hoping that maybe it would be transposing to some sort of a Catalan position, but turns out it's I think it's kind of like an English opening, d4 d3, c5, and e4. So I don't know whether it is a home preparation or not, but both players have been playing the first few moves really quickly. So probably it's either home preparation or this is already some repertoire that they're so fluently playing on the board. And welcome for those who just joined with us in the Twitch chat. So there's one special thing about tonight that after each rapid game, I will take on a challenge by the viewers on Twitch. You can just put the command challenge, and then the command will direct you how to challenge me. At the moment, I'm not activating the challenge on my lichess because the game is still ongoing, but later after the game I will turn it on the privacy, and then after that I can take on the challenge. Okay, so we were looking at the position after e4 and then knight c6, e5. Yeah, e5 was rather quickly played by Harika. Knight d7, and then queen e2. And here, Zhu Jiner is still thinking, probably trying her way to get to the e5 pawn, although I think it's safely protected by white's pieces. So just as a reminder again, Zhu Jiner is already 1 point ahead of Harika, and we have today 2 rapid games and 4 blitz games. So we will see whether Harika would be able to catch up with Zhu Jiner's point. But in any case, we will play all the games. So yeah, so each of the player, I expect that they will try and fight so hard tonight. Yeah, I would say there's some chat about chess boxing on Twitch. Yes, actually I was also watching the whole event, So it was very interesting. It was very exciting. Yeah. And it was really well produced as well. So I think it's a very good promotion for chess in general. Okay. So let me also remind you again a little bit some profile about each of the players. So Zhu Jiner is a WGM from China and currently rated 2486, and then is the first among girls under 20. And Zhu Jiner was born in Zhejiang. This is the province where many of Chinese top players came from, including the former women's world champion Zhu Chen and Su Yuhua. These two ladies are just the best. I think I had a chance to play against both of them. And also from Zhejiang, there was also Ding Liren, who will compete for the title of the World Chess Champion later against Ian Nepomniachtchi. And Zhu Jiner also has two GM norms in hand, so I'm expecting in a year or two, maybe less than in a year, she would complete the requirement to be a full GM. And yeah, I think she's a true talent from China. On the other hand, we also have Grandmaster Harika. And Harika is a very well seasoned player, one of the most decorated players from India. She has won many of the junior titles, world junior titles, world youth under 10, under 12. And she was also the youngest woman international master when she made it in 2003. And in 2004, again, the youngest woman grandmaster in Asia. And recently, this year, when she was pregnant, she still could win bronze medal in the Olympiad in Chennai back in July and August. So yeah, she's a very talented player as well, and currently ranked 12th in the world. So in this game against Zhu Jiner, or in this match, it is a match that is fully contrast in terms of characteristics. So I've already mentioned it before that Harika is a very good strategical and positional player, while Zhu Jiner, as a young player, she's really good in calculating in complex and dynamic position. So the blend of them two in the upcoming rapid and blitz games, and especially in the shorter time control, I think it would be very interesting to watch and to follow. All right, let's get back to the game. So after Queen E2, Zhu Jiner decided to go on a solid approach. Just develop the bishop to E7 in preparation of short castle. And then in this position, Harika played H4. This is quite a typical move in Reti, actually, where you would like to maneuver your knight on B1 to D2 and then to F1 and then to H2 and then to G4. Yeah, this is actually quite a long road for the knight, but this is one of the I would say main ideas. But okay, now having the pawn on E5, maybe at some point knight E4 was possible. Of course, take into account that the E5 is still hanging, so probably a preparation like bishop F4 is needed. There's so many strategical play that white can do in this position, and that being said, black has to be careful, so not to really being attacked in the king side. So castle, castle, and then I would suspect that at some point later this rook will go to E1 to allow the knight to have some plays on D2 and then F1. H6 is played. This is also one of the ideas, that is not to allow bishop goes to G5 and exchanging this bishop, because this bishop on E7 is needed for defense. So In this rapid game, each player will have 25 minutes plus 10 seconds per move. So even though they're down to a few seconds left on the clock, as long as they keep playing the move, they would have 10 seconds after each move. So I think it is very important for the players to also have a very good time management, not to spend so much time in the opening and then just focus on the middle game, but also try to spare some time to play the end game. Because looking at the strength of both players, they're kind of like similar, although they're operating on different type of characteristics of the game. So I think most of the games will end in endgame. And that has been the case for the first two games. The first standard and the second standard game, they both ended in an endgame. So after h6, now Harika is thinking. We can see both players in the video as well. So I think the idea for white in this position is how to rearrange the pieces, or how or where to put this knight and this bishop, especially because it is a question whether you want to play in the queen side, which I don't think it will be on the queen side, or you want to play from the E file to the H file. So you're aiming toward the king side. But it is also not easy, because this is one of the most solid setup that black can do in this type of system. Having the knight on d7 followed by queen c7 and then b6, bishop b7. And so far, after 10 moves, there's still no trades at all. All the pieces and pawns are still on the board. Normally, when you still have full pieces and pawns on the board, it's making things a little bit more complicated, because you still have to calculate so many things. So yeah, hopefully the players will not take so long, because they have to get used to the shoulder time control. This is no longer the standard games, and then each increment has only 10 seconds, not 30 seconds like in the standard game as well. Yeah, because the battle is still in preparation right now, I think. We just started to play the middle game, and the position looks kind of closed still. Maybe at some point one of them will try to break it open, but at the moment I think it is best to do some preparation with some development of your pieces. And now the king is already safe, so I guess now the task is just to develop the remaining pieces left. Yeah, I would say it's kind of slow. I mean, I was expecting for a rapid game that they would play a little quicker. I'm getting nervous for both of them, actually, because I think if I were them, I would play a bunch of normal moves, and then and then I will think later, because yeah, time is of the essence right now. And after this, after two games of rapid, we will play four games of blitz, and the time control for blitz is 5 minutes plus 3 seconds increment per move. So it's even more quick. The players have to adjust themselves really quickly now. So, if I'm not mistaken, after h6, now Harika has already been spending for 5 minutes for the next move. And 5 minutes per move is a lot, where you play like a 25-minute game. So, yes, please be quick, Harika. And also with Jiner as well. Yeah, we can see in the video Harika is thinking hard how to place the pieces and so on. This might be something that Harika wasn't prepared for because obviously if you play knight f3 first move, you were expecting of a ready type of position. Probably in the preparation, Jiner used to play some other system that different to this, so probably Harika was caught on the spot. Okay, on to 6 or 7 minutes, I guess. Yeah, it is time to decide something. When you're playing a rapid game, it is time to decide. You cannot spend so much time like this for 7 minutes now. But I have a suspicion. Maybe there's some lag. So let me refresh this page. Maybe they've already played. No, I was right. I mean, there's nothing. There's no lag or delay or anything. So what we're seeing is correct. That Harika is now spending close to 8 minutes for the next move. Which is understandable because she already lost a game yesterday and now she's down to 1 point and probably she just wants to be careful. Moreover, she's playing white, so there is kind of a little pressure of having white pieces that sometimes you think you have to be the one who is in charge of initiatives or the choice of the variations or lines. And now knight d2 is on the board. Yes, exactly. Changing your time management from the standard game to a much shorter time control like this, yeah, it's kind of hard. That is why we didn't put it on the same day. So we would like to see if the players they prepare for some shorter games in advance, so that when they're playing the match today, they are more kind of used to it. And welcome to those who just joined us on Twitch and YouTube channel of Lichess. I'm streaming from St. Louis, USA right now. Harika is playing from India and Zhu Jiner is playing from China. And we have our dear arbiter, Laurent Freyt. He's from France. And the sponsor of this event is Qatar Chess Association. So I think I like to mention it over and over again that I love the diversity in chess, that really chess connects us all from all over the world. And now it's time for Jiner to think. I think knight d2 is kind of expected. So again, both players I think have to really work on their time management. There's Queen c7 here. Yes, now it's being played. I already mentioned it before. Okay, rook e1. I think now Harika trying to keep up with the time because I think she realized that she has been spending so much time on the move before, and now it's time to catch up with the wasted time before. And now probably after rook e1, yeah, this is a bunch of natural moves that are expected to be played. And now probably b6 is in order. Actually, in this position, I also like a6. So instead of playing b6, black can also play a6 in order to play b5. I think it is a more direct approach, and it's more suitable for Jiner's style. But I don't see anything wrong with b6 either, because I think in this position you want to get the bishop out as soon as possible. You need all your pieces to be out there in order to start attacking. f5 is on the board. I truly didn't expect this move. Mainly because I didn't like to have a backward pawn on e6. So in this position, if white just play e takes f6, doing this en passant, the special case in chess, and then the knight has to take it to get this pawn protected by the bishop. And even though that position looks alright to me, but I just don't like to have a backward pawn on e6. That is why I didn't even consider this move. But maybe this move is alright. And now Harika is trying to decide whether she would like to take the pawn or not. I think she would take it because positionally speaking, I think it's best to take it to create some open squares on the center file. Let me check with the computer. So yes, ef6 is I think the only move to proceed in order to maintain more activity. So ef6 is already played. Knight f6. Black might have some compensation for this backward pawn. I don't like it because it's going to be like a permanent weakness in black's position. But maybe with this pawn advance on f5 and then the en passant on f6, it will create more room for black's pieces to shuffle. Like for example, now the bishop can go to d7, and now after bishop d7, rook e8 will come next, and yeah, probably that's a better approach in this position. Yeah, now it is time for Harika to rearrange these knights. I don't think this is a best arrangement for the knight because now the bishop has really to go out, preferably on f4, but of course it cannot be done at the moment. This knight has to go somewhere. So yeah, knight e4 is quite natural looking move. Knight e4 is being played, okay. So knight e4 and then coming bishop f4 and probably doubling the rook on the e file, something like rook e2, rook e1. This also can be played. And probably after bishop f4, this knight can go to d2 just to get this bishop a little bit free in the h1, a8 diagonal. So knight e4. Black has a few moves here, but those moves still give white a slightly better position. So, but the best move in this position would be knight takes e4 and queen takes e4. Because now I think the idea for white is clear. The next move, if there is nothing on the board, bishop f4 will be played. e5 again. It's a little bit unexpected because now I think the pawn is getting weaker being on e5 rather than on e6, because even on e6, even though it was backward, at least this bishop is protecting it, and I don't think you can try to attack it unless you play bishop h3. But that means also somehow the diagonal, I don't know, it looks a bit hanging on the f file. But now e5 can be a real target of attack. But it's understandable, right? Because black wants to stop white's idea of playing bishop f4. Okay, knight takes f6. And I think Harika will be shuffling this knight to d2 and then occupying e4. I think it is a solid approach that can be done by white. So in this type of position, I think it's still close to semi-closed position. All you have to do is just being patient and try to maneuver your pieces little by little to a better square. Try to improve, basically improve your piece. Any piece will do. Or even sometimes you can gain some space with the pawns. But in this position, black has to be careful. Again, the e pawn is going to be a permanent homework for black. I think knight d2 is in order because otherwise if it's not knight d2, the bishop will just occupy g4, and I think it would be better for black after that because black's pieces would be more active. Knight h2. It is probably okay. Wow. Wow. There is actually one interesting idea in this position. I just also didn't expect it. Knight g5 can actually be played. Knight g5. Okay, I think the players will think for a while. We can go for some analysis here. This is amazing. Like somehow out of nowhere, white can accelerate some attack like this. Knight g5, because if you take, you can just take it back. And now the bishop has to go. Let's say bishop e7, though bishop d8 is also possible. And then after that, you just go bishop d5. And then, of course, the queen on h5 is just a matter of time. Or if rook f7, then there's g6 as well. And in this position, if the bishop doesn't go anywhere, then you can just simply take it. And you're no longer sacrificing any piece. You get your piece back, and at the same time, you improve your position. And with the pair of bishops, now the pair of bishops in this game, I think they can be a very powerful pair compared to the first two pair of bishops that we saw in the first two games. So knight g5 is coming out of nowhere. But of course, this will only happen if black took the knight. What happens if black doesn't take the knight? Still, you want to get to e4, but instead of my suggestion going passive to d2 and then to e4, you can actually try to distract your opponent by playing knight g5 because, well, one of the ideas can also be bishop d5 now check. Yeah, it's going to be very annoying for black in this position. And then queen h5 is coming also. Wow, this looks really scary. So unfortunately, Harika didn't see that. I also didn't see that if I didn't check my computer. But this is such a nice and strong nuance in this type of position that if that position, like this position, were given to me in a training or study or some sparring game with my friends, I think I would have considered knight g5. But sometimes we have a different psychological approach when it comes to tournament games, let it be online or over the board. So I think I understand that if none of the players notice that there is knight g5 on the board. Yeah. This is such a tactic that I really like. It's not forcing your opponent to take, of course, but if your opponent also doesn't take it, it will give you some positional advantage as well. Like it's going to be, you see, like the spirit of knight g5 is just so good. Bishop d5 is coming, queen h5 is coming, or in any case, just putting the knight back to e4 is already very solid position for you. So let's get back to the game and see the continuation of the match. So after knight h2, bishop e6 was played. Yeah, so each of the players right now, they just want to get the pieces out as soon as possible. After bishop e6, Harika just played a3. So probably the next move would be something like rook e8. You want to get all your pieces, especially to the center files. Yeah, I don't really like this knight h2 actually. If anything, knight d2 might have been better so that the knight can occupy e4, the center square, the center square. To be honest, I don't know what's gonna happen with the knight on h2. Does it go to g4? There, it's not really attacking anything. You're only trying to trade with the bishop on f6, but it might be to black's favor if somehow that trade happened. So yeah, I'm not too sure. Oh, a5 is now on the board, trying to anticipate the typical idea of white that usually after a3 you want to play b4 just to try to weaken the side of the board, or maybe before b4 the bishop will go to d2 first just to, keep an eye on the b4 square. Yeah, so yeah, that was one positional mistake in this position can actually cause a lot. So knight h2, suddenly the computer just gives almost 0 0 0. Although, okay, maybe it's still better for white anyway. Again, thanks to the e pawn, this backward pawn is always a trouble for black and will always be the target of attack for white. So after knight h2, bishop e6 was played, a3, and then a5, and then bishop d2. Yeah, this is still quite a natural looking move. Rook e8, yes, this is still expected. And now in order to make any of this work, I think we have to shuffle the bishop. Bishop d5 is no longer possible due to bishop e6, so probably now we have to settle on bishop e4. And only after that maybe try to shuffle the knight, rearrange it somewhere. Yeah, so I think Harika is doing the bishop principle, that the bishop has to be in the good diagonal, open diagonal. So I think within a minute or two, I think Harika would just play bishop e4. Yeah, I also like to have this queen elsewhere. Although if I want to try to attack on h5, it's still looking a bit loose, I think, because it just gives black some tempo to play bishop f7 and probably, I don't know, bishop g6. But yes, in this position, whatever you do next, you have to play bishop e4 first, and then maybe try to rearrange it to even f1 and then g2. Oh, bishop f3. This is looking rather passive. And I also have no idea what it is planning. Could it be exchanging the bishop? But I don't think so. That bishop, white slide square bishop, it's a good bishop. So I don't think Harika would like to exchange it with this bishop. But what else can it be done on f3? Preparing for knight g4 perhaps? But you can already play knight g4 if you want to. So this bishop f3 is not necessary if you want to prepare for knight g4. Or bishop h5, but this is just a one threat move that can easily be refuted after rook e7. So I'm not sure now. Yeah, this is quite a mystery for me, what Harika is having in mind. First of all, with the move from f3 to h2, and now from bishop g2 to bishop f3. Yep, so both players are down to 9 minutes and 12 minutes. I think they will start playing faster. They have to be practical for sure. because even though there are so many things to calculate on this position, you just have to find like the most natural moves. Just keep improving your pieces, and yeah, just be steady. So after bishop f3, black has many moves in this position. Actually, many moves will do, like queen d7. Just keep arranging the pieces and try to be a bit better than before. King h8. And now computer suggests to go bishop e4 still. So I hope this was a mouse slip. Like maybe Harika wanted to play bishop e4, but somehow she released the mouse when it came to f3. Okay, rook b1. This is threatening some direct plan of b4. I don't know whether it should be stopped. Even if it's stopped, a4 I think will do the job. Even though maybe after that a4 will be a bit weak in the end, so maybe that's not a very good continuation by black. So, but I think this can be ignored, because after playing b4, let's say white could play again b4 ab. Yeah, you can just take it, right? Or maybe this b7 letter will be weak. Intriguing. This is actually an intriguing position. This is a position where sometimes you don't understand what to do. Oh, could it be because there was actually one nice idea here that maybe bishop c6 can be a candidate move, but after bishop c6, black will not take it with the queen. I think black can just take it with the pawn and then put the rook back to b8, and now this pawn is a backward pawn. So yeah, that is not a good candidate move. Yeah, I also don't understand. This is a position where I'm going to ask Harika later what she had in mind. Moving knight h2, bishop f3, and now rook b1. Okay, bishop e7. So Jiner tried to play it safe, trying to stop anything to do with the pawn push to b4. Yeah, the position is looking all right now. Oh, I think I understand the meaning of king h8. Maybe at some point Gina wants to play bishop g8 and then bishop h7. This is going to be a better diagonal for the bishop. And also at some point, if needed be, when this bishop goes away and there is no more check on d5 by this bishop. So yeah, king h8. I'm trying to make sense of each move that the players made in their game now, trying to get into their head and then try to guess what they are planning. So bishop e7, now bishop h5, but that can easily be refuted by bishop f7. Yeah, just offer the trade, and I think white will not take it. Will it? Sometimes it's easier to say during the stream, oh, this is a good move, this is the bad move. But of course, as a player, and then when you're playing this yourself, you feel a special kind of pressure of, of fear of making some bad decision or making bad moves or bad plans. But yeah, now bishop h5, bishop f7, probably the best is to go back to f3, and then I'm still very persistent about this bishop e4 idea. Yeah, a player like Zhu Jiner, she always goes for some pawn sacrifice in order to get some um, attack in exchange. So yeah, even though there is a possibility here of bishop takes c6, queen takes c6, and probably queen takes e5, and there will be like bishop d6, and with these two pair, a pair of bishops like this, black might get a full compensation because every piece will be just directing toward the white's king. So, and it's kind of scary if you play some position like that in the shorter time control, because in the shorter time control, it is better to be an attacker than a defender, because it's just easier for an attacker to keep going with the pieces and just basically you just move forward, just try to scare your opponent, let it be the attack be successful or not, just try to scare first. As long as you don't blunder anything, I think that's one of the strategy in the shorter time control. And now they're down to 8 minutes and 7 minutes. Even Jiner herself, I think she has to start playing faster. We can see from the video that Jiner is trying to calculate her way. So, yeah, welcome for those who just joined with us on Twitch channel and YouTube channel by Lichess. We're looking at the first game of Rapid between Harika and Zhu Jiner. There will be 2 Rapid games today, followed by 4 Blitz games. And in the middle of each game, I will take a challenge from the Twitch viewers. So stay tuned, and you can use the command challenge on Twitch to see where to challenge me. At the moment, I put the privacy for the challenge to be off because the game is still going on. But after this game, we can, yeah, we can play. I will turn it on again, and then we can play a casual match of 3-minute 3-0 or 3+2 while waiting for the players in their breaks. Okay, it's taking so long already for Jiner. I'm wondering what she's up to. Rook d8, so she decided to just play with rook d8. Bishop f7 is suggested by the computer. I think it is quite a natural approach, but rook d8 has nothing, it's also nothing's wrong with it. Oh, actually, rook b8 serves more purpose. Yeah, if she wants to get out of the threat on e8, I think rook b8 is a better square than d8 because, yeah, on d8 it doesn't really serve anything. This file is closed. The rook cannot do anything on this file, but instead, if she goes for rook b8, maybe not necessarily pushing b5 on the next move, but at least it serves another idea. And this is something that, you know, in the shorter time control as well, you have to keep playing active chess. You cannot just play a move based on your opponent's idea, but also a move that keeps your idea alive. So yeah, rook b8 would have been more natural, and also gives the rook later some task to do. Okay, now 6 minutes versus 5 minutes. And we still see a very, very close position with still so many pieces on the board. They only exchange one minor piece, and one pawn. So the rest of the pieces are still on the board. And now, yeah, they already spent about 20 minutes on the clock. And yeah, they have to play faster. So, what can white do in this position? I think this bishop is no longer useful in this diagonal. Probably now can play bishop g6. But Harika has been refuting that idea since a few moves ago. So I don't see what else what can do in this position. What has to do something with this knight for sure, because this knight is not doing anything on h2. Yeah, so and the queen as well. I think I would rather have the queen on g2, to be honest. I don't know, it looks more it's a double-edged sword. Ooh, f4. Didn't expect it at all. And yet it is the best move in this position. So well done, Harika, for finding it. Yeah. Why didn't I think about f4? Obviously, this bishop on e6 is hanging. I mean, it's there is no protection over the bishop, so f4 should be, yeah, should be one of the candidate moves. You just want to pressurize this pawn on e5, and but I'm sure Gina saw this beforehand, so that's why she allowed this. Because otherwise, if she didn't see this, she would have played bishop f7. And now she allowed this, so and she should play faster now. So probably bishop d6. So bishop was from f6 to e7, and now maybe coming to d6. This is interesting. On one hand, white is pressuring on this file, and especially toward the e6 bishop. But on the other hand, white is exposing her king. So this is an attack that can be also like a boomerang for white. That white is attacking black, which is, I think this is a very good attack. But if white is not careful, white might suffer a counter attack. Yeah, she probably remembers f4 from last night. Yeah, last night f4 was the good move in that position. And now she played the same f4. And actually, she didn't play f4 last time, but now she remembers this, that this is a very timely f4 because this is the perfect time to play it. And after bishop d6, knight f3 was played in an instant. And again, this is the correct decision. Yeah, I just felt that the knight has to do something. And now it finally went back to it f3. At least it does something. Bishop f7 is on the board. And now it's objectively white is slightly better. This e5 pawn will be fallen. So now it's a matter of some calculation whether to take on f7 first or take on e5 first, because this bishop on h5 is protected by the queen anyway. When of course you have to take it with the knight in that case. Oh, there's one cool line. Oh, knight takes e5 is a must. Now I just saw some cool line here that after bishop takes f7, queen takes f7, and then whatever you do with the e file, black can just take it twice with the bishop and anything, and after queen takes, there is queen f7. Check and then takes on this d2. So this is an inaccuracy by Harika. If she wanted to do that plan, she should have taken on e5 first. And now e5 is no longer hanging due to future attack on f2. Maybe, okay, I want to see their reaction or their face. Sometimes you can tell from their face, whether they made blunders or made some mistake or some move that they didn't expect it before. But I think for players like both of them, Harika and Jiner, they have some sort of like poker face that you will not be able to read what's on their mind. So knight e5 is on the board. I think Jiner is trying to finalize her calculation whether the attack on queen f2 later is working. Because, okay, let's say bishop takes, f takes, before and after knight takes. I think it's possible, right? It looks scary. Having the king like this, being so exposed, it looks scary. So knight took, and I'm sure, yeah, see? Yeah, in this position, obviously, I think you shouldn't take on e5, but rook f1 is there. The computer evaluates this as equal. Though it's looking a bit scary to me, but I think it's holdable. Yeah, if rook f1, then the queen can just go attacking g3 while protecting e5. Harika has to be careful here. Oh, but then if rook f1, queen c7, there is a cute move like bishop takes a5. Wow, that is a very interesting fact. I will just read it for those who also on YouTube who doesn't read the chat on Twitch. At Tata Steel India, we had heart rate monitoring of players. It's requested by the sponsors. It was very interesting to see the heart rates go up even without any changes in players' expression. The players were also very interested in the data. Yeah, I'm also very interested in knowing such situation. Yeah, thanks for the info, AK Subram. Oh yeah, right. Both players are now having about 3 minutes each, and things are starting to heating up. So rook f1 is on the board. Let's see if Gino would play queen c7. There is bishop a5, though I think it's still fine for black, because after bishop f5, queen takes a5, and then queen takes e5. There is a counterattack by queen d2. Like takes this and then put back queen d2, and yeah, a pawn in such a position, I think it's insignificant. Oh, bishop f6, having a passive retreat to f6, and I think now it's, although it looks like it's equal, but because there is no attack around the white's king, I think now white can just improve the position by playing, for example, queen g4 followed by rook e1, just having all the pieces around the king in the center, and then yeah, trying to control the open files. Yeah, strange enough, what to do after bishop f5 in this position? Why did she allow it? Ooh, that's such a cool move. Just like what I mentioned before, a player like Zhu Jiner, yeah, sacrificing a pawn, it's not really important for her as long as she gets activity or attacks or initiative. So if there was a moment like this, yeah, if bishop takes a5, then rook can just attack it back, And after bishop comes back like this, queen g6 attacking g3 and also attacking h2. If king goes like this, and the rook will go back to e8. Okay, black is a pawn down, but all the pieces are going after the white's king. And again, they only have 2 minutes left on the clock. I'm sure Harika saw the position. And when you have much less time on the clock, it is better if you just get all the pieces ready instead of taking one pawn. You just have to get all the pieces, especially with your king being exposed like this. Protect your king, but at the same time, try to be active. Activity of pieces is really important, and sometimes it's being underestimated. Oh, queen g4, rook de8, and then rook f5. Yes, doubling the work on the f file, because if you play rook e1, it's just simply a trade, and I don't think it is preferable. Yeah, rook f5 with the idea of rook f1. I think this is great. All the back ranks are covered. The rook cannot go to e1, e2, e3, e4, e5, only able to go to e6. And after rook f1, there might be some ideas like, I don't know, bishop h6, for example. This is one of the idea that first comes to mind. And not to mention, in such a game, we also have to foresee the end game. And what I'm seeing right now, if somehow all the major pieces got exchanged, look at the pawn structure. This can be very bad for black, because it can be easily attacked by the white's bishop. But we are talking about the long term, which might not happen, but can also happen. But for now, I think white is focusing on the attack in the king side. This is such a very beautiful defense. Why I say it's beautiful, it's because you can see from the game that all the pieces are surrounding the king and the pawns as well, but not only for defending but also attacking. Oh, queen e2 is on the board, and now they're exchanging the queens. Okay, black has to be careful. Again, be very careful, because if not, when we're going to the end game, it might be fatal for black. If exchanging all the way, and I think Harika knows that endgame is going to be better for white, definitely. So it is a fatal mistake, I think, that Jiner made, to exchange all the pieces. Or maybe she was panicking because Harika was going for an attack, and there's a principle: when you're being attacked, you want to minimize or reduce the number of attackers by exchanging. But in this case, when you're trying to exchange those two pieces like that, it's just weakening your endgame. So there's a backside of that scenario. Okay, this is surely a better endgame for white. So we'll just have to see whether Harika will be able to convert this into a win. Yeah, I was talking earlier that this pawn structure is a disaster. Only white can play for a win in this position. But again, we saw that Jiner was able to handle the end games before, especially the first game against Harika, where she was actually losing, but the game ended with a draw. So maybe Harika will learn something from that, and then try to be more careful in the end game and try to convert that into a victory. If Harika wins this game, then the score will be equal again, and the match just gets more interesting and interesting. King g8, yes. So I like this king march from g1 to f2, e2, and then to d1. just to be on this side so that this rook, wherever this rook goes, it cannot go to. Oh, is this a blunder? Oh no. Oh no. Harika maybe didn't see it. Bishop h4. Yeah, I think she didn't see it. I think she made a mistake. Oh, she played too fast and then she allowed this. Oh no. And now she's a pawn down, but okay, what happened if just rook takes, bishop takes, and then bishop c7? No, she didn't go for that. Okay. King h7. Still a pawn up for Jiner. Wow, this is such a counter that I didn't expect before. Probably due to white's inaccuracy, because usually this position is just simply better for white. If white didn't blunder that, I'm sure it would be a better conversion to win. Yeah, young players, they're very sharp in tactics. Even though there are only seconds left, they just spot it immediately. So rook a4, and now, yeah, this rook is more active than the other rook, and this king is kind of closer to this g3 pawn. Yeah, I feel nervous for Harika. I think this position is already better for black because just because the rook is more active and this pawn on g5 is more advanced. Okay, probably now check first, yes, and then take on g3. Because the king has to go to d2. This is a very hard choice for the king, which pawn to go. Okay, yeah, naturally I think d3 has to be protected. Now rook g3 just came on the board. Okay, b4. Yeah, white has to play some counter attack here. White cannot just stay still and then wait for the g pawn to be promoted. White has to create some initiative, and having better on the queen side, having more pawns on the queen side, white just has to utilize it. King e1. Now the king has to switch back to the king side, not allowing this pawn to just promote safely. So the king has to guard that pawn while this rook has to do something on the queen side to guard one of the pawns to be promoted. Black is better, but maybe white still has some chance. And remember, each player has 10-second increment for each move. So even if they're down to seconds, they can just keep playing, and then they will get another 10 seconds for each move. Okay, bc5. Now I think white has to do something with rook a5, yeah, taking this pawn and probably taking this pawn. So the best that white can hope in this position is a draw. Whereas before the blunder on h4, yeah, white was just better. Rook e3, this is such a nice tempo move, trying to see where the king go. I think king will go to f2, trying to stop this pawn. And then after king goes to f2, rook can just take on d3. Okay, I'm getting nervous for both players. So now if rook takes a3, then this rook will take g5. That's almost for sure. And then rook goes to c3. Or maybe it's worth to give a check first, maybe? That's probably it. And then after that, rook c2. Or rook c3 immediately. c5. And now this endgame looks like lost. But it's not easy. Rook's endgame is always tricky. The rooks still have a very long range. And probably after this... Okay, if d3... Ooh, black can just simply ignore it and then just push this pawn. Yeah, this looks like lost endgame for white. Yeah, which is, yeah. So rook takes, what happens? Oh, rook d1. Rook d1. Having the pawn on here, I think it is drawn. Oh yeah, the king is just too close to the promotion square. What am I talking about? This is just drawn. No, this yeah, this is a drawn in game, theoretically drawn in game. I think Jiner shouldn't have let that pawn to be exchanged. I mean, just keep the pawn on the board, the D pawn, but what can it be? Yeah, it's hard to. Yeah, this is drawn. There's some what it's called with Philidor defense here to not allowing the king to move forward and just keep checking like this. Yeah, they're going to repeat this and then just drawn. Okay, that's game number one for rapid time control. Yeah, I was actually surprised after not g5. Maybe you should have played something like rook c4. Like this, just keep the pawn. Oh, but doesn't matter. c6 is there. Then after you takes, yeah, thanks to this king being close to this pawn, the path for the promotion, like yeah, that's why it's drawn. Yeah. Okay. It was such an interesting game. At first Harika was better, slightly better, and then Gino was actually better, and then at some point Harika was winning, but then blundered the h4 pawn, and I think at some point in this endgame Black should be winning with accurate play, but yeah, in the end they ended up with another draw. So the score so far is 2.5 and 1.5. So Zhu Jiner is still leading. And yeah, the players having 10-minute breaks. So let's challenge me. Let me change the preference to always. Okay. So, all right, there's one coming. Wow, this is quite higher rated, 2276. Let's do it. E4. What should I do? E5, C5. Let's play E5. Let's play some boring line, D6. I was talking about Philidor before. We can do it again in the opening. Knight C3. Let's go with Knight F6. Takes D4. Bishop E7. And this is 3 plus 2, so we have some increment on the clock castle. Okay, let's think a little bit in this position. What should I do actually? Let's do a6. It's one of the typical idea in this position. A4. What else should be done here? I was looking at a 4, but does it work at this moment? Okay. Takes. I don't really like it. Let's play c6. A5. Actually, I wasn't expecting that move. Probably now I can play something else. No, I can take. Yeah? Can I? Yeah, I can. So knight takes. This is the fork that I was thinking before, but I didn't know whether it was working. It was working, but I just didn't like the final position after that. I think white has to take it, no? I think that's the only move in this position. Yeah, and then d5. And now it's time for my pieces to go. Let's play this. Bishop e3. And now I think I can do something like rook e8 here. I think it's normal. Yeah, the players are taking a break right now. I think they need it. It was such an intense game. And now I'm just going to take a challenge. Hopefully this doesn't last longer than 8 minutes, because then when we resume the next rapid game. So what I want to do right now is just to get my pieces out. I think I have to finish the development. I'm pretty behind in development right now. My knight just get out and my bishop is still on c8. So yeah. Hey, I'm up in time right now. Only by 30 seconds though. But it is something. It is something. We're playing 3-minute games, so 30-second up in the clock, it's something. C3. Okay, I'll get my knight out. And now what to do? Okay, my queen out. Shall we? Okay, let's get my queen. It's just a matter where this bishop will go. Because for now, I don't see any good square for the bishop yet. So I'll be patient. Rook e1. Okay, let's play this. Let's try to disturb this knight. Okay, bishop goes out. Yeah, I think I can do that. Let's do bishop e2 here. Oh, bishop e5. I mean, knight f5. Knight f5. Does it go somewhere? I don't see anything. Can I just take it? I don't like taking it though. What if I play queen there? Yeah, let's play queen here. Takes. This looks alright for me. I have to play faster. Oh my god. I forgot that I'm playing Blitz. And I haven't played Blitz for some days, so I'm now a bit worried that I might flag myself. Bishop b6. Okay, let's play rook d8. Rook e8. I think my position is alright. I just have to play faster. Ooh, can I just double my... I should double my queen and... Can I do that? Oh no. I'm a bit nervous now. I'm worried that I might flag. Because I'm pretty slow. What is this? I have to go back? I think so. I'm fine. Okay, my position is fine. I shouldn't freak out. Okay. Oh, Harika lost the connection. And Lauren, our arbiter, is on the stream. Okay. Hello, Lauren. Let me get done with this first, and I'll get back to you because my time is running out. Shall we play this? Okay. Oh, what's that? Can I just give a check here? I think this is winning for me already. No? Okay. Check there, check. Yeah, I think I'm winning here. Check. And then here. because there is no mate down there. My bishop on f6 is a very good bishop. Okay, GG. Yay. Well done. Okay, that was a good one. That was a good one. It was quite close match. I mean, you see, like I'm not winning any match really here. I was just simply play around and then somehow checkmated my opponent by accident. No, yeah, I don't know. It was a good one. So, uh let me check with my team whether Harika is back because she lost her connection. If not, then I can take another challenge. So I'm just waiting for the confirmation. Oh, Harika is back. Okay. Then let me change the... Okay, I'm ready. Sorry guys, I think we're going to resume the next rapid game now. And then after that, I'm going to take another challenge. So there you go. Harika is on the screen now. That was fun. Thanks for the game. Yeah, I had to play the fear on the spot, but I think I did a good job. So I had to pat myself on the back. Anyway, I think I'll keep my privacy on and then I will just go to see their games. I think they're going to play soon. Yes, so oh, I think I'd like to get it from the white side, so I'll follow Zhu Jiner instead. Okay, this is good. Okay, so these two players obviously they have a very wide repertoire. So the first game, Zhu Jiner was playing white the first standard game, and then she played first move e4, and then the game turned out in the Rulapes game, and now she started with d4, and what I can predict right now is some Catalan game coming up on the board. So Harika is trying to decide which system that she's going to play, because this is after g3, this is just okay, I'm going to play Catalan, show me what you got as black. There are so many good lines here for black. dc4, bishop e7, or just bishop b4, just what happened on the board as well. c6 or anything. So probably I don't know about the player's preparation. This is a tricky line that you wanted to play bishop e7, but you started with bishop b4 just to get your opponent's bishop on d2, because this is quite a slight misplaced for the bishop. This bishop would have been better on c1, but this is still fine. This is still a part of theory, so yeah. So I don't know which variation that they're going to go actually. So bishop g2, you can play c6 here, you can play castle, or you can also play takes d takes c4. Still, there are so many lines to choose from. c6 is being played, so Harika is opted for a close Rulopes. I think it is quite a solid choice for this game right now. Both players will castle, and then black will continue with b6, bishop b7, this type of Queen's Indian setup. Yeah, I had a few games like this as black. I didn't play Catalan as white. So as black, I had a few experiences in this position. There was one game that I actually played in Zhejiang, the place where Zhu Jiner came from. I think it was Zhejiang Lisui Open 2011. I was black against Nana Zakniza from Georgia, and I won a good game. So I was pretty happy with my play. And I played exactly this line. I played bishop b4 first, and then bishop e7, retreat. This type of move is kind of typical in that type of openings. So queen c2, you can start with knight bd7 here. You can also play, I guess, b6 immediately. But I think more accurate is to play with knight bd7. Yeah, I don't know whether f4 will be a good move anytime in this game, like what we saw in the first in the last two games actually. Arika played timely f4 on the game that we just saw, because probably she missed it in the game before, in the second game of the standard. So again, in this position, black has a few options. There are a few good looking moves, natural looking moves. So yes, she's trying to choose it wisely. And get ready, guys. We will have another game after this. So stay tuned. B6 is what Harika chose to play. Bishop f4. And after bishop b7 and then probably knight b d2, there's one funny repetition here. Sometimes players play it in order to have a quick draw. Knight h5, bishop e3, and then put it back again to f6 and then back again to f4 and then just repeat and make a draw. Which I don't think will happen in this game. I think both players will just try to fight it out until the end again. We see three games already, and all the three games ended in endgames. So usually if both players are of similar strength, when there is no openings, blunders, or some mistakes in the middle game, usually it will end in the end game. It is expected. I'm reading the chat sometimes, but I'm also trying to concentrate and try to get to the head of the players to resonate what they're playing, the moves, so that I can explain it. Okay. So here, yeah, knight bd2 is I think one of the main moves. b3 as well. Rook d1. So let's see what Zhu Jiner is. Oh, please do not challenge me now because I'm still commentating the game. But you can challenge me after this game finished. So during the break, I will take one random challenge. Let me put it on my computer because I also like to learn. Catalan is one of the biggest opening of for d4, so it is always being played by top players. b3 is on the board right now. So yeah, this b3 is it's a standard solid approach by white, and the next move, if b3 is happening, it means the knight will go to c3, and after that this rook will come to c1 and the other rook will come to d1, and yeah, this is going to be quite a close position again, like what we saw previously. As for black, I think that bd7 is asking to be played right now, and after that there are a few variations that black can play, like probably inserting a5 at some point, and also just play normal moves like h6, rook e8. There will be a lot of waiting moves in this type of positions. What is your prediction, guys? Tell me in the chat. Who's going to win this match? So for now, Zhu Jiner is leading by 2.5 and 1.5. I think you can see it from the board. Yeah, I think it's featured the score on the bottom of the board. And for those who just joined us, welcome. We're watching the friendly match between Grandmaster Harika Dronavalli from India versus woman Grandmaster Zhu Jiner from China. And we already saw two games of standard games, and then the first rapid game just finished a while ago, and now we're looking at the second rapid game. And after this, we're going to see four blitz games. And this friendly match is sponsored by Qatar Chess Association. And now the rapid games, the time control for the rapid games is 25 minutes plus 10 seconds. So every player will have 10 seconds for each move played. And then later for the blitz, we will have 5 minutes plus 3 seconds. So it's quite a long rapid time control and also quite a long blitz time control. Knight a6 is on the board. This is also another idea. You want to prepare for c5, or I don't know whether rook c8 is in need for the preparation here, but it's quite typical. Also, at some point, the knight might want to go to c7, although there's no point of going there now. So let's see. Knight c3, I think, is quite natural, unless you want to stop anything to do with b4 with a3. Although I think you can just ignore the threat. I don't think it would be dangerous for white, so white can just try to finish her development. Yeah, it looks like a pretty tight match, because even though Harika is down a point right now, all the games that we saw, Harika was better. The first game drawn, she was better. The second game that she lost, she was also better. And the last game just now that also drawn, she was better. So for the whole three games, she was actually having a better position. +1, +2 position, but somehow she made inaccuracy and all the chances slipped away. Rook d1 is on the board, so white is being patient with the knight here, because sometimes the knight can go to c3, the knight can go to d2, depends on the position. So while waiting, white just go with the rook first. Okay, rook c8. So now Harika is really preparing to go for a pawn push to c5. Yeah, it is another typical idea that needs to be anticipated by black. But how to anticipate it, I also have no clue. But knight c3, I think, will do the trick, because if you play something like c5, this can give a good square for the knight to go to b5 and attacking the a7 pawn. So black has to be careful about pushing the c5 pawn. Black has to really understand the perfect time to do it. Maybe such a move like knight h5 can be inserted, although there's nothing much really on h5, and unless you know you want to take a draw and then putting it back to f6. So, or h6 also could be a good idea, because sometimes this knight can get distracted by the pin to g5 or e5. You want to play c5 and d5 will be quite hanging, and you need all your pieces to support it or to protect it, and knight f6 is one of the key piece to protect that, and you don't want it to get disturbed by any of white's piece. The computer still evaluated this as better for white, almost +1, or even it's +1. But I think it's still a playable position. Knight h5. just as expected. So I'm not a prophet, but yeah, but this is I can say this because yeah, this is one of the typical ideas as well. So probably bishop e3 is in order, and there's nothing else to be done with the knight on h5, so probably the knight has to go back to f6 after bishop e3. One of the ideas of this move is also sometimes you want to tease your opponent that, hey, I kind of like directly offering a draw, but I actually am not. Because at some point you can just change your mind. Like, for example, after bishop e3 and then knight goes back to f6 and then the bishop goes back to f4, then you can try something else. Also, I was thinking maybe the bishop just can go back to c1 and then transfer to b2. Maybe this is a safer diagonal for the bishop. That's also another thought. Yeah, in this position, basically any square is good for the bishop. e3, d2, c1. Actually, the computer likes bishop c1 better. So bishop e3. Yeah, normally people would just go bishop e3 and then the knight will go back to f6, and depends on what they actually want out of this game, whether they'll be happy for a draw. If they're happy for a draw, they will repeat the moves. Otherwise, one of them will refute it. So 13 moves already played, and there is no trade at all. Pieces or pawns, they're still all intact on the board. Hopefully the players will not get headache because of it. There was a time when I played a very complicated Catalan game, and I think we didn't exchange anything until move 23 or something. Like, it was so complicated. There were so many pieces on the board. Each of the player tried to get the best out of one another. One attacking on the king side, one attacking on the queen side, and some initiative also on around the center. It was so complicated, and we fought for 5 hours. I think I was playing against an Australian grandmaster. It happened early this year, and I think after 5 to 6 hours of playing, we agreed for a draw, but it was such a complicated game. So Catalan is known for that, especially if you're playing a closed system like this, when you're not trading anything since the early of the game. And yeah, you just have to keep calculating stuff because anything can happen. You give more probabilities when all the pieces are still on the board. f5. Okay, so Harika is not going to just play knight f6 and repeat the moves. I think it is also a very good approach, seeing how she's actually now down 1 point, so she has to catch up. And f5 is quite a typical move to play as well in this position before you move back the knight to f6 if necessary. But on the other hand, this gives a good square for this knight. So this knight can just go to e5. Yeah, it's a little bit messy because after knight e5, maybe there is some idea with f4 and so on, or bishop d6 first and followed by queen f6, or maybe not queen f6 immediately because there's knight d7. But something like that. So I think Harika is showing that no, I'm not going for a draw, I'm going for an attack in the king side. So yes, it's gonna be an exciting game. So time-wise, I think we're doing fine here. It is not as slow as the previous game, I would say. I think both players already starting to get used to the shoulder time control. Now 19 versus 17 minutes. Yeah, I think they're doing fine. Bishop d6, yep, just like what expected. I think the idea of f4 is always at black's disposal. It's not necessary to be played it up now. Black can just play a few of preparation moves. I like the idea of queen f6, but of course it cannot be done immediately due to knight d7, and it is a fork to f8 and f6. So probably at some point, the rook will go to c7 first. Ooh, this is actually a nice idea. Take a look. If rook c7, and then you might want to play g5, and then rook is being transferred to g7, and suddenly both rooks are on the king side and then ready to attack the king. Wow. If this happens, I'd be very happy to see my prediction coming true. So let's see. No, knight f6 back. Oh, because of bishop f3, of course, of course. This cannot be prevented. So bishop d6, bishop f3, and then knight f6. Yes, there's no other way to protect the knight, I guess. Yeah, knight f6 is necessary. But I think my idea still exists. Though not g5 immediately because it's just hanging now. Oh, probably. The knight goes to e4 now. This is why you have this type of stone wall setup for your pawns, just to strengthen the center and then just to create an outpost for the knight. Yeah, just to compensate of this knight on e5. Okay, now we have another issue with this knight, yeah? We kept having a knight like offside the board. So though it's looking a bit ugly, but I hope it's going to be transferred to somewhat better square or better place. Bishop f4 is on the board. I think knight e4 should be played here. You have to play an active chess in this position. Or after knight e4, there's one funny maneuver. Like you play knight c7, knight e8, and then knight f6, and somehow now both of the knights are in the center, and then they are protecting each other. Bishop f4. Yeah, white has to just play waiting moves. I don't see how. Maybe because I'm not playing Catalan as white. Probably I'm not very familiar in this position for white, and I can tell more about black. But yeah, this looks pretty normal for both sides. The computer suggests it's equal, so both sides have their chances. Queen e7 is a good move. So yeah, in this type of position, both sides, they just have to keep improving the position little by little. Do not be too ambitious or opening up the position or being committed to any of the pawn moves too much. Like for example, h4 or anything. a4 is actually kind of bad because the b4 square will be just controlled by the knight or the bishop. So yeah, the key here is to be patient. There will be a lot of waiting moves. Yeah, the closed system of Catalan is actually kind of boring. It's just testing each other's patience. The one that is more patient than usually the one who is in control. Yeah, after queen e7, white is still slightly better, but very, very slightly. Computer suggests bishop g5, but also h4. Wow, h4. I don't like such a move because it's too committal. Yeah. Queen d2, though I'm not sure what is going to happen after queen d2. Like what's next after that for white? h4. Nice. So young players nowadays, they just play like computers. I think this is the type of position that probably Jenner likes. If there is some sort of play, especially around the opponent's king, and having a good control over the center, I think it is quite important as well. Okay, now it is time to push c5. I think black is now ready. Having the bishop on d6, having the queen on e7, I think now black is ready to push c5 like this. Um, I think for now it doesn't really matter because even if the knight goes to e4, I think it is still going to be pretty alright for black. But in this position, maybe c5 is a little bit more accurate because even if the knight goes to e4, the knight doesn't really do anything on e4. It's just occupying the center. It doesn't really give anything to the knight yet. But that idea is always at black's disposal, so black can always play it any time when it is necessary. I think it is important to notice that now c5 is the move. Even though now computers suggest knight e4 can be another alternative. Yeah, both moves are looking good. It's just c5 requires more calculation, obviously, because it would offer a few traits in the center, exchanging the c5 pawn or exchanging the d5 pawn, or also giving up the b5 square. So that's why if Harika is considering it, I mean, that's why I think she's thinking longer right now. I think she's considering it. Nope. Knight goes to b8. This is so I'm trying to make sense of that moves. So the knight wants to go to d7. What is the difference between supporting c5 from a6 and d7? I rather like the knight on a6 before. I mean, if you want to go for c5, because at some point you can just go knight b4 attacking the queen and probably move back to c6 if necessary, or after, or also on b4 you can just indirectly or directly protecting d5. So I don't think knight goes back to b8 is necessary. And now white has a few good options. The knight can go back to d3, or now pushing a3 or pushing a4. Oh, no, pushing a4, sorry, not a3, but pushing e3. So those three moves are being suggested by the computer. So knight d3, a4, e3, and Jiner played one of those. Yeah, so the key idea is just to be solid. Again, not to be impulsive. Be solid and try to improve the position little by little. Yeah, Harika is thinking if she's being consequent with the move knight b8, she would play knight d7 right now because I don't see any other plan with knight b8 unless she wants to play c5 knight c6, but I doubt it. Okay, so she's thinking right now. Knight e4. Yeah, this move should have been played earlier on. But okay, I think this is still a good time to move it. knight e4. Yeah, the position is still complicated. 18 moves already played and still no trades at all with the bishop, not the bishop, with the pieces or the pawns. Everything's still on the board. Anything can still happen. Evaluation is +1 for white, but yeah, this position still gives so many possibilities for both sides. So it is still not sure how white can convert this into a victory. Oh yeah, tell me where you guys are watching from. I'm streaming from St. Louis, USA, and at the moment it's 3:15 in the morning. I think we will stay for another probably 90 minutes because after this we will have, or probably 2 hours, another 2 hours. Because after this we will have 4 blitz games with 5 minutes plus 3 seconds. So one blitz game could take about 20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes with such increment. And there will be 4 blitz games and then there will be some breaks in between as well. So I'll be here at your service, I think, for the next 2 hours. Wow. So the fears are coming from all over the world as well. Netherlands, Italy, New Zealand, Austria, and also one of the mods on Twitch comes from Alberta, which is an hour different to St. Louis. Yeah. Yeah, the thing is, this match is being broadcasted in a very good timing for Asian time zone because we started at, I think, 3:30 Beijing time. I think in India it should be around the same time, probably half an hour difference, probably 3. Yeah, I think it is 3 p.m. in India, IST. Yeah, I'm originally from Indonesia, and in Indonesia it would have been 1:30, I guess. Yeah, 1:30 in the afternoon. So the timings were good if you're in Asia right now. Yes, so after in a week, yes, I'm going to play in the Spice Cup. Okay, we saw another move here, Bishop G2. Why moving it back? I mean, yeah, we knew that before Bishop F3 was played, that is to attack the knight on H5, and now the bishop moved back. It's not gonna change the evaluation much because this position is still very close. Yeah, you can keep playing with any ideas you have in mind. Even some move like I don't know, rook b1 even is still fine for white. Okay, bishop e5. Deciding to exchange it. I think this is a very good decision by black. And then after bishop takes, I think knight d7 is going to be the next move. Trying to push the bishop back. Yep. And bishop goes to f4, I guess. But if the bishop goes to f4, there is one interesting idea that can happen. Bishop f4, this bishop is kind of restricted by its own pawns on g3 and on e3 and g3, and that's why probably h6 is an interesting idea, followed by g5 next. This is gonna be this attack is going to be very interesting if it happens. So another idea is not to move the bishop anywhere, just keep it there. And then just focus on other developments, like for example, rook goes to c1. But yeah, Jiner played bishop f4 because this is just a natural retreating move. So do you think Harika will find this idea, h6 g5? It's not winning, But at least it's a good and interesting idea by black. Oh, she found it. H6. Obviously, she already eyeing for g5 right now. And then it forces white to take on e4. This knight is too good. It has to be exchanged. Oh, hello, new people. Yeah, lots of first-time chatters, right? Yes. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon for everyone who's watching now. I believe we are coming from all over the world, from various time zones. Okay, so after h6, Jiner is still thinking. I'm sure she's realizing the danger of the idea of g5. So she has to do something about it. First of all, I think taking on e4 is the first step. And then it will give black an option of how to take it back. I think either with the d pawn or f pawn, I think it's equally good. I think with the d pawn is better, because you want to keep trying with the g5 and then just to have your pawn structure intact. Knight e2. Instead of taking, knight e2 is played. And I think this is a mistake, because what's happening now after g5? g5, if you take. Actually, we can just go to the analysis board. This is interesting. So, okay, g5 takes, and then let's say you take on, no, if you take on f5, sorry, if you take on e4 now, I can take on f4. And this is bad for white, because now the pawn structure will be just killing. This bishop has to move back, I don't know, to f3 or to g2, doesn't matter. Then this pawn will just take on e3, and I think this position is better for black. Maybe not big, but at least it is an improvement to what it was before. I know this is definitely better for black, because the knight can just go here and g4 and then suddenly start to create some attack over this file. So what else can be done here? So if g5, white has to take and take. And then what then? Going back to e5? Is this the idea? I'm not too sure. Because can you just take like this simply, and then what's next? c5. Yes, why not c5? Ooh, f3. Is this the idea, to trap the knight in the center of the board? It is interesting. So I overlooked something then. f3 is a threat. And if you move something like g4 like this will create a good outpost for the knight on f4. Yeah. It is interesting now. So, okay, not bishop e4, definitely. Bishop e5. Now, the question is to take this bishop or not. But if not taking the bishop, what else can you do? No, this is tricky. So knight e2 is white's idea to push f3. Yeah, I think now I'm trying to understand these players' thinking. So yeah, now knight e2 is the preparation for f3. That's very tricky. Okay, let me check with the computer. So this one, g5 is a good move. Takes. And now if bishop e5, what is the best move in this position? Oh, okay. c5. Computer suggested c5. This is the best move here. So you played c5 immediately without taking on e5 first. Because what we saw before, we took on e5, d e5, and then c5 and f3. and the knight is trapped. And now if you play f3, at least now the knight can just go back, I guess, to f6 or d6. Yeah, just knight like this. And this is a playable position for both. Actually, this is a better position for black, almost +3 for black. I think because this bishop looks kind of sad. I mean, this bishop is looking a bit better because next move it will take on c4 anyway. And then the diagonal will be open. So, okay. At least we get to know some ideas behind these 92 moves and some good continuations for black as well. Yeah, white should have taken on e4. Okay, let's go back to the game and see if they have some new moves. Okay, just like what expected. We're looking at this position before. So after 92, g5, yes, according to the plan, hg, hg, bishop e5, and now let's see if Harika can find the c5 idea. Yeah, I think she will find it. I have to run to the bathroom quickly. Be right back, guys. Yes, I'm back. So what's happening? Uh oh, so she took on e5. D takes e5 and queen g7. This looks still alright for black, right? Now knight goes to c5. Yeah, I think it's still fine, but probably not as winning as before. Wow. It's quite equal right now. Black is fine, but if c5 will guarantee like plus 1.5 to +2 for black, and now it's just quite equal, and actually it's slightly better, just very, very, very slightly better for white. Oh no, instead of knight d7, black has to play knight a6. I know this looks a bit counterintuitive because the other knight just went out from that square, but now you have to play knight goes to a6 because of what happened. Like after knight a6, you have to take care of this pawn. White has to protect the pawn, and then after that play f4 at some point. Because now what happened on the game after knight d7, f4, it is bad news for black because now white is consolidating the position. No, actually, white can just win a. Sorry, black can just win a pawn. E5 it was hanging, so by playing that a6, it's a double attack to the hanging pawn. So this knight c5, b4, and then yeah, after knight a6, you're threatening both the b4 pawn and e5, even though it's not really winning, but at least this is something that you have to go for. Because after knight a6, a3, queen takes e5, and then after king f2, somehow computer suggests it's still an equal game, but come on, black has a pawn up, so I think black has to have something. But anyway, let's go back to the game. So b4, knight d7, f4, king f7, king f2. Wow, the evaluation is +3 for white. I think it's because the activity of the knight, this one can go to d4 and centralize, and this one doesn't have anywhere else to go. Cannot go to here, or probably it can be transposed, but yeah, and this rook is going here too, and this bishop is now a better bishop than b7, so probably that is the reason why white is better in this position. Oh yeah, don't worry. We have a strict anti-cheating measures. Even in this friendly match, both players are on the Zoom call, supervised by an international arbiter. They have their cameras and microphones open, and I think, yeah, I think we're observing the anti-cheating quite closely. So we have a few policies about that too. So rook h8 is kind of natural, isn't it? Because in the open file, you just want to control it. And also you know that your opponent will play rook h1 anyway. So you just want to be ahead of them. And rook h1 just played on the board. Wow. I can't believe this position is almost +4 for white. It is that huge of an advantage? I mean, yeah, I'm not amazed if this was better for white because it looks like it's better for white, but I just can't believe that it's +4. But okay, now both players are already almost down to almost down to the blitz time control. So they have to play faster. And the position is still kind of rather closed. Harika is down to 3 minutes, almost 3 minutes, compared to Jiner's clock. Oh, the match score is 1-2 for Jiner. Jiner is leading a point ahead, and you can see the match score on the bottom of the board. The first match, it was a draw. Second match, Jiner won. Third and fourth match, they drew again. And wait, the third match they drew. Now we're playing the fourth match. Yeah. So my take is at some point white will take on d5, and then this knight will have a very, very amazing outpost on d4. That is deciding the game. Not to mention that this bishop has no prospect at all. So probably that is why computer is now giving almost +5 when you're holding it a bit, and now it's just getting bigger and bigger. So GF, EF, I think it's no brainer to take it with the E pawn. G pawn, I mean, G takes F was actually quite possible, but yeah, EF is obviously better. And this is the case where when you were a kid, I remember when I was a kid and I just started playing chess, I was so happy to have a pass pawn, and d5 here is kind of like a pass pawn. But then when you're getting older and then you start to know chess better, sometimes a pass pawn can be just manipulative advantage, that it's not really an advantage, especially in this position. You cannot really employ it at all. And so, yeah, it's as if you're just, you don't have anything like a good pass pawn at all. So it can be deceiving, especially when you are still playing chess for like a few years. I mean, when you're a kid and then, oh, I have a pass pawn, and probably it can become a queen later on, because as a kid you always dream to promote your pawn as a queen. But yeah, when you start knowing the chess better, and then yeah, pass pawn is not always a good pawn. And in this position, it is no exception. This pawn is not really a good pawn for black. Okay, so Harika is down to 3 minutes and 49 seconds. Jiner still has more time on the clock and is thinking what to continue in this position. Yeah, it's +6 for white in this position. So I don't know. Probably white has to transfer her queen to the other side of the board, or how to continue this position anyway. Starting with knight d4, or oh, not even taking on d5. White can actually just push on c5, and then after that knight d4. Oh, this is such a good setup for white's pieces, and then just full domination in the center. I don't think g4 is necessary. I mean, I don't even think about pushing g4. I think the best thing to do is just to consolidate your pieces in the center, and then slowly bring your piece along the h file while maintaining control in the queen side as well. So probably c5. c5 is interesting. c5, bc5. Okay. But also black can choose not to take on c5. But after c5, knight d4 is a good move, I guess. And then, yeah, I think you can just play bishop f3 here. Something like that. Or even king e3 next after bishop f3. You're giving up this pawn. I think it's no problem, because then you are gaining control on the 7th rank with rook h7. So there's always many possibilities. White can just choose any move in this position. Knight d4 is possible. Queen a4 is possible. C takes d5, also possible. I wonder if c5 is also good, actually. No, c5 is also good, but not as good as knight d4. So knight d4 is the first choice by computer. Yeah, white can definitely relax, but do not be too relaxed, because her time is down to 4 minutes right now. It starts, ticking down. So white better be playing faster. I think there's also one strategy when you're playing something like this and when you're having this type of position. You can just play any good move or any natural move. You don't have to commit to anything, but at the same time, you're letting your opponent to decide something because it is not an easy position for black to play. And with another inaccuracy, I think black will just worsen the position. Knight d4 is on the board. Jiner has been playing very well in this game. And knight d4 is also another natural looking move. I think it is one of the moves that should be played instantly. As expected, yeah, black is, I think, a bit puzzled right now in deciding what to do next. Yeah, probably actually that is a very interesting idea. Bishop f3. There is one idea that comes from the chat to play g4. Yeah, I think it can be working. a6 is on the board. Ah, this is, I think, worsening the black's position. c5 might be working. Oh, g4. g4 is so nice here. You don't actually need to play bishop f3. You can just play g4 right away. So if g4, obviously after f takes g4, there's rook h7. So you don't want to take it with the pawn. And after g4, if queen takes g4, then rook h7 again. And you're just winning. Ooh, rook h5 is also good. Again, white is so overwhelmingly better in this position, so white can just be chill and then choose anything from this position. Rook h5, still maintaining +8 for white. Yeah. Even after this position, okay, let's say you play rook f8. Okay, the rook, first of all, cannot go anywhere. Because if rook goes anywhere, you can just take on d5, take on d5, and then queen c7. So this rook is helpless. But now rook goes to g8. It's a direct attack to g3. I think rook g5 is going to be the next move. Yeah, rook g5 and then followed by taking on d5. Rook g5, queen goes anywhere, takes on g8, queen takes g8 and then takes on d5. And after c takes d5, queen goes to c7. I think it's game over. But g5 would have been nice. Yeah, if we see that on the board, it would have been nice. But this is equally good as well. I mean, this is just clean conversion again. Rook takes g8. There's yeah, nothing much for black. So Jiner is still thinking. She chose to take on d5 first. I think it would be the same anyway, because if you take on this guy, you can just give a check on d6 and then, oh, maybe what happened? Or maybe if you take on this, oh, there's knight e6 and it's a fork and you can just take it with the knight later on. So yeah, white is good. Yep. Also, if white was just trying to be, I don't know, blundering anything, like I think even d takes c6 is still also winning for white. But of course, Jiner will not take that. But yeah, I think d c6 is still winning, and I was just checking it. Yeah, it's still +20. Sorry, +12 for white if that happened, if d takes c6. So, wow. Again, white is so overwhelmingly better. But yeah, knight d knight takes e6 is a bit more natural, and then you just take back the rook, and you're just so much ahead in everything. Wow, yes. There's one funny line, obviously. If the queen goes away, and then you can just give a check on d6 first. Yes, because after king takes, and then there will be a checkmate on c4 or b3. Just the same. That is very cute. Yeah. When the queen moves away anywhere, right? The queen can just move anywhere. You play d6 first, check, and then you have this pawn, two connected pass pawns in the center, and then if the king goes to e8, and then you take on g5. Yeah, I think it is almost game over. Uh, or are we missing anything in this position? I don't think so. This is quite a clear position for white to win the game. Okay, do you think Gina will find d6 or oh no? I'm sure she found it, or didn't she? I'm not too sure. This is like yesterday's game where there was an obvious rook takes c3 with a back rank checkmate, but choose she didn't choose that line, and then played something else. What happened in this position? Takes. Okay, still plus 14 for white. Yeah, d6 would have been nice. It's just showing, oh, okay, I don't care about the work. I just go for d6 first, and then try to mate the king on e6 later. Yeah, but this is still winning. Because after this, wow, you can take on f5. You can also go to c7. What else can you do in this position? So many things. Probably you also can play e6 first and then play queen c7 next, or which played by Jiner right now. I think Harika should be resigning now, because queen c7 is inevitable. Unless you're giving up a rook. I mean, unless you're giving up your knight. So get ready to challenge me, guys. I think you can just do the command and challenge. Let me see if it works. Oh, it works. Okay. Yeah, e6, queen c7, and Harika resigned. So now the match is led by Jiner by 2 points, and get ready for the challenge. Yeah, good game by Jiner. So they will have about 10-minute break, and in the meanwhile, yeah, I will just select some random challenge, and then let them take a break and so on. So I think we played Bubner before. Who's challenging me first before then? Or who's this open challenge? Bubner, right? Okay, let's do it. Oh, it's rated. Oh my gosh. It's rated. Okay, so I have to be serious then. Okay. Oof. My computer is kind of hanging right now. Too many things going on the background. Zoom, OBS, Lichess. What was this? I think it was just bishop d7. Wow, it's rated. I thought it was going to be casual. Okay. I think my position is still fine. I'm uh nothing to worry about for now. It might be different later. Okay. Okay, it's important to gain space, and also it's important to watch my clock. Oops, see? I forgot the knight was on a3. Yeah, I shouldn't have done that. Okay, it's alright. I'm now down a pawn. Still holding, I hope. Okay, let's push this. Okay, still have some hope because the bishop on c1 is still not activated. So I will have to use the moment to activate my own pieces. 95, okay, let's just take it. Take that one. Can I play it here? I can, right? Yeah, okay. Never say oops. Yep, that was my mistake. I hope my opponent is not... How do you call it again? Stream sniping? No. The bishop... no. The rook has to stay there. Let's just move this pawn. Oh, I'm down a pawn and I'm also down on my time. This is not a good news, guys. E6. Wow. Didn't see that move. What should I play now? I can just move it, right? Just play f5. I have to play faster. Oh, it's without increment. Oh, I thought it's 3+2. Okay. I have to play faster now. Sorry, chat. I'm not going to read you in a moment. Okay, there's one good looking move here. Just takes. Okay, takes here. Okay, and takes this one. Okay, I'm good. Just a simple tactic. I hope I'm not missing anything. I should be fine. Trying to reassure myself. Oh, I'm so going to analyze this game. Okay, my opponent has to play faster. He's down to... Wait, what? What to do here? Can I just go... Oh, I have to move my rook. Okay, move it here. Okay, let's move it here. Double the rook. It's usually good. Okay, let's do it here. Rook a2. And now I wanna trade... No, I wanna... Oh, what is this? Rook is hanging. Can I just take it? Of course. Oh, I'm about to take it, but my opponent resigned. Okay, GG. Oh yeah, should I have said, oh no, my pawn, and just trying to bluff my opponent that that it was not a mistake. Okay, the players I think are almost ready. So what should we do now? Is there any shorter time control? Actually, let's take a look. Okay, casual 3. Okay, let's do this. Oh, now I'm playing white. Okay, that's good. What to play here? Shall we play London? Many people hate London. Okay, let's play London. If my opponent allows. Okay. E6. All right. Okay, let's go. Can I play it? Let's C3. Trying to Jobava this position. Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Ignore it. Play bishop d3. Ooh, it's almost 4 in the morning here. And I'm still streaming. Such a dedication for chess. Okay, takes. Should I be bothered on playing the long castle or short castle? I think I would go for a long castle. It's more fun. Let's go. It's more fun playing long castle and then just try to attack the other side. Let's go h3. Oh, okay. I'm not worried. Should I be worried? I should be worried. There's c4. So maybe I should take it. Okay, it's almost... The players are ready in 4 minutes. And I should be playing faster. And try to finish this within 4 minutes. I think we're good. We're still on schedule. Oh, takes. Okay, what should I take it with? Let's take it with the rook. Let's get the rook out. Okay, I think my position is fine. My time situation is also pretty good. I have nothing to worry about at the moment, but I might be wrong. I think I should be fine here. Takes here first. Wait, what? Why are you giving me the exchange? I'm tempted to play knight f6, but it might be too fancy. I mean, by moving back the knight, I'm already better anyway, so... Yeah, I don't see anything. Okay, so I'll just move back the knight then. Where to go? Okay, back to c3. And then just take it. Yeah, they should be winning, but I have to be careful. There's a check. Okay, let's hide the king first. Okay, I can play here. No, oh, I can just push. Yeah, let's push it. And just attack the king side. I don't see what rook c6 is doing, because I have this. And now, which pawn should I push? g6 or h6? g6 is looking better. I think we should go with g6. And now h6. Okay, I'm up in time and my position is better. Queen f4. Huh. You want to take my d4? But what if I take on e6? Hopefully I'm not missing anything. Yeah, I'll take on e6. This should be just winning for me. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Ta-da! Okay, GG. Thank you for the games. I was actually planning to play one game, but it was just enough time to play the second game. Anyway, we have to come back to the match. Let's see if they are... Oh, they already started. They already started, guys. So let's do this. Oh, Harika is playing black. So let's see Zhu Jiner's side. Yeah. Okay, so they already played the first game of the Blitz. It's 5 minutes plus 3 seconds. And okay, let's move back quickly. E4. Zhu Jiner opted for the first move, E4, G6, and then I think we're going to see some modern defense, which now it's being transposed to some King Indian defense. Okay, so Bishop G4, there are a few things to choose from. D5 is one of the main moves, and we can play Bishop E2 later, Bishop E3, just still a standard setup for white. And hold on to your challenges because I'm going to commentate the first two Blitz game first. And after the first two, then we will have a break. Then I can have another game again against the viewers. It's officially 4 in the morning here. Yeah, A5. I think Bishop G2. Yes, I mean Bishop E2, not G2. And then Bishop E3. And the idea that might be possible is white will try to attack on the king side. H5. Okay, H3. Is H3 a move here? It's possible. So probably H3 is in order. Or probably Bishop E3 too. This is, both are pretty good. Let's see which one that Jiner will choose. So yeah, their ratings on lichess are still very low due to infrequency of playing in lichess. But come on, Jiner has to play now. You have to play. It's been a minute since the last move, I guess. And you don't have much time. In the opening phase, I think you just have to keep playing fast because you might need the time later. Okay, castle. Not the move that I was having in mind, but obviously it is still an okay move. It will not give any damage to the white's position. Okay, Harika is now thinking. Again, I think they're having... This is the first game of Blitz. I think they're having some time to adjust to an even shorter time control. Bishop takes F3 was played even there was no H3. I think now knight A6 or knight D7. Yeah, either. And the knight will go to C5. Still a standard plan by black in this type of opening. So yeah, Jiner has to be faster now. Both of them they have to be faster. Sometimes having a 3-second increment can be spoiling you. You feel like, oh, don't worry, there will be 3 seconds for each move as the increment. Even if I'm having low on time, I still can just keep playing the moves and I'll have more time on the clock later. But yeah, you have to sometimes think about the future and then just spare some of the minutes for middle game and ending game. A3 is an A3 was just played. King F8. Oh, this is such a peculiar move. So black will not castle, that's for sure. And black will just hide on F8. I think that was the idea. Okay, this is this idea then. Okay, bishop H6, exchanging the dark square bishop, and the king will hide on G7 and still having the rook on H8. So that's the idea. B4, will the king goes to G7 in this position? I don't think you should take on B4 now. I think you should just ignore it. Bishop takes E3, F takes E3. Now the F file is open. This might be dangerous for black, but I think it is also quite holdable. So I think just by playing F6 even, the position of black's king is quite safe and solid. Queen D2 is on the board. Will the knight move around to H6 or to E7? I think it requires something out of this knight because normally black wants to connect all the major pieces on the back rank. Okay, knight H6 is on the board. Wow. And both players are down to 2 minutes. And I think things are just getting exciting. So knight H6, what's gonna be the idea? White has to keep the pawn on B4 so that the knight on D7 cannot jump on C5. That's for sure. And now bishop E2 just played. What is the idea behind this? Could it be rook goes to F2 and then just doubling the rook like this to F1? It's possible. Both sides have to do something, even with the low time on the clock right now. Okay, thank you, Cormac Obeir. Thanks for joining with us. Okay, basics. Now Junior has less than 2 minutes on the clock. Knight B5. Wow. Knight F6. Yeah, they have to keep playing faster now. So now the E4 pawn is target of attack. Queen E7. Yeah, this I think this position is now better for black, and Harika has to win because she's already down 2 points. Rook C1. So instead of playing on the F file, and now the rook just switched back to C1 in order to get a hold of the C7 pawn. The knight on B5 is already standing very solidly here, and now this is the moment where white will try to attack from the queen side, while black, I think black will try to start something in the king side because all the pieces are there. The queen is on E7, both of the knights are already on the king side, but no. Harika chose to play rook B8 and then starting to support her queen side. H3 is on the board. And now if the knight is not going to attack, this knight on H6 is not doing anything. So I think regretfully, Harika has to shovel this knight away somewhere else. Probably to G8 later and to E7, or can be anywhere else. But it is important right now to keep on the pace. You cannot just stall and then let the clock running down. So Queen D7, yeah, Jiner has to play quicker because the position looks quite safe. We can just play any move, just to waste the tempo and not to be so low on time. I was thinking the same too, like I mean, I think G5 would be a good resource move for black in the future if there's nothing else working out. Yeah, black has to keep that option in mind. Or if black wants to be committal right now, yeah, this looks interesting. Even though it's looking like a little weak, weakening the king side. But I mean, if you're playing for a win, you have to use all your resources. So knight g8. I'm still not sure what's gonna be for this knight. Oh, c5 just happened on the board. So I think this is the idea of Jinners. Just play the queen e2 and then supporting the knight. b8 takes b4, c6. Wow, this is such a nice intermediate move. Instead of taking on b4, you just push on c6 first, just to make sure that your knight on b5 is standing strong. And now after this position, I think this is strategically winning for white. Due to the weakness of c7, it's going to be a weakness until the end of the game, and this is going to be the permanent homework for black. White's pieces are more harmonious, and now, yeah, now the problem for white is just the time. Okay, so one rook just got exchanged, another rook is being offered to be exchanged, and whoever controls this line is a better side. Apparently, Harika tried to get some counterattack. Queen g5, king f2, queen h4 check. Where this king will go? Will it go to e2? If it goes to e2, then there is queen g3. Oh, okay. I think queen g3 is going to be the next move by Harika, and then she will definitely try to create some counterattack. Knight f6, I was wrong again, trying to attack on e4, but this move is yeah, I think this looks fine for black right now, thanks to this counterattack. I was not paying attention that black is actually having more ideas in the king side, because I thought black can only just defend in the queen side. And now all the pieces by white is going back to the king side, protecting all the loose pawns. This g2 pawn is definitely something to be concerned of. Yeah, now black is doing well. And also with the time advantage, this king march is so typical by Petrosian. If you're reading some classical games, just switching from one side to the other, f5. So now Harika is playing rather aggressive, which she should be, because now the position I think is looking better for black, with better center as well. Knight e4, centralizing the knight. Oh, Jiner is in trouble. Now the weakness of c7 is not going to be exploited by white anytime soon, because it is standing on the dark square, whereas the bishop on the light square is not going to be able to attack it at all. f4. I think Harika is going to try to trade for the endgame. Queen takes, probably. Yes. And then having the king has to stand on e5. If the king is able to control e5 or to occupy e5, then this is definitely a win for black. But now, wow, such a pawn sacrifice. This is difficult to get the king activity over the pawns. Knight e2. Okay, now the evaluations change. I think Harika will win, and having an outside pass pawn will be deciding the game. If Harika wins this one, and the match will be even getting closer. So it will be 3-2 for Jiner still, and Harika still has another point to catch up with. But I think, yes, she has so much time on the clock right now. So time is not an issue. And now she's currently up a pawn, and this pawn is an outside pass pawn. And it's going to be hard for Junior to defend. And okay, the game's finished. Wow, such a turnout by Harika. I was so impressed. It was so impressive. It was a master play. I really didn't expect it would be something like that. Wow, well done. And now the score is getting closer. It's 3-2 by Jiner. Is Harika having another connection issue? I think we can start playing. Oh, we can just wait. They will play the game immediately. Let me check again. I think they should be playing the next game soon. Okay. Okay, they are still not starting yet, but I was told that they will start the next game soon after the other one. So we will only have a break starting in less than 90 seconds. Okay, we have a minute or two. Let's just take a look at this position again. It's so impressive how the turnout. So I think, yeah, before was a mistake. Oh, I think this is still understandable. But where is actually the main mistake by White until she got all the counter attack coming along? So Queen D8. Yeah, this looks better for White. Okay, let me turn the engine on. Yeah, White is better. I thought it would be much better, but apparently it's not that much better. Queen F2 takes here, takes, and then Queen G5 just in time, and now black is better, although by not much, but it's still something. King F2, and then just slowly consolidating all the pieces. And okay, so after F5, yeah, white should just stay still and not doing anything. But instead she took, and then this is better. Okay, the second game of the blitz started. Harika played G3. This is exciting. If you want to challenge me, get ready. After this game, there will be another 10-minute break for the players, and we can play. So just challenge me later. Okay, G3, D5. Are they going to repeat the rapid game? Apparently not. C6 is already played. This is going to be a little bit different than before. G6, B3. So Harika is going for the double fiancero. Okay, yeah, this is still a standard position for both sides. Don't challenge me now, guys. Challenge me later. I'm still going to commentate this game. Okay. Okay, this position is still according to the book, I guess. So c5, I think followed by knight c3 or d3, and then the knight can go to d2, and yeah, slowly developing the pieces. Knight goes c3, it is also fine. And yeah, now where will this bishop go? I think this bishop, okay, I think this bishop will go somewhere. It has to. Queen c7, still, each one of them still trying to be solid. Try to improve the pieces little by little, and then waiting for an attack. And it has to be quite timely. And welcome to those who just joined with us on Licha's Twitch and YouTube channels. We are now looking at the second game of the Blitz. There are 4 games scheduled for the Blitz, and currently Zhu Jiner is leading by 3-2 against Harika. And yeah, the match is just getting more exciting and exciting. So I also have no prediction on who's going to win the match because both players are already they're very strong, and then they always have some tricks up their sleeves. So yeah, and then with the shorter time control, everything is trickier. So yeah, let's see what they have in mind. So knight f4 is being played, attacking c5. Is it really an attacking move? Yeah, I think so. c5, I think, is under attack right now. So black has to do something about it. How to defend it? Probably with some knight moves. Knight moves a5. That looks a bit ugly. Yeah, this move is kind of typical. Not only it's attacking c5, but also when you move the bishop out, you can just occupy knight b6. So knight d7 is crying to be played. But now, what happens to the bishop on c8? So that is the question. I guess now white is slightly better, but still anything can happen in the blitz. But one thing for sure, Harika is catching up. She's playing stronger and quicker, and that is a good sign because she has to catch up with the overall score. She's down to 1 point at the moment by Zhu Jiner, so she has to do her best to even the score, and probably for the next two games that it would be deciding. Knight b6 is on the board. I don't think it is necessary, but yeah, black was trying to play b5, so I think it is necessary in the end. But now after knight b6, black can choose whether to take it or not. Black can also try to play knight e5, for example. I think both options are equally good. Yeah, it depends on how... Oh, knight b4. This is what I didn't see. But what happened after knight d7, bishop d7, and then d4, let's say. Just one example. But probably that position is all right. a3 first, has to go back to c6, and queen b6. Okay, trying to pressurize on b7 because after queen takes b6, rook b6, and then I think white is planning to double the rook on the b file and then just try to get a pawn up by attacking on b7. Yeah, this c5 will be a problem in the future later because this knight will somehow maneuver somewhere, like for example to d2 and then to e4. Not to mention that white has this idea to play rook b1 and then attacking on b7. This is going to be... Wow, if Harika wins this match, it's just going to be very impressive. 3-3, and then the last two blitz games will be deciding the fate of the players. Yeah, I was also curious. Like, I think in that position, black shouldn't have exchanged the queens. Black, I think, should have kept the queens on the board. So now black is going on a total defensive mode. And now there are 3 pieces attacking this b7. Can it be protected? Okay, bishop c6. I think you shouldn't take it, right? I think you should just play bishop h3 followed by knight b3, and then this pawn is kind of hanging. And this knight from b3 can also go to a5. Yep. So, and Harika has so much time on the clock, so I'm sure she see it. Okay, knight b3 played immediately. I think it is also good because yeah, white doesn't really need the light square bishop, and now this knight is going to a5. But is there any concrete calculation in this position? No. This position is just like the other position that Jiner was better at, and now Harika can actually be a bit more relaxed because, yeah, in this position, I think only white can be better and play for a win. So all my prediction is going up in the air because I thought in a shorter time control, Jiner would be in the upper hand, but turns out I'm wrong. The first game of the Blitz, Harika already showed her mastery, and now in the second game, I think she's going to even the score. Okay, this pawn structure is not to Black's favor, but can Harika convert that into a win? H4. The king has to go somehow, like the king goes to f3 or maybe wait on the king's side, trying to get a hold of any pawns with, but I don't think so. Maybe there's king f3, king e2, so some king march like this, would it be possible? But once the king gets to a4, I think the knight can just go to b7 and control it. So at some point you have to exchange one of the pawns and try to create an opening path for your king. f4, yeah, f4 is on the board again, which I'm not sure whether this is the correct time to play f4. But now it seems like, yeah, white is still always better. But how to convert this? That is the question. Because if you play something like e4, then you're giving up this square for the knight. But what else can you do? You cannot really attack g6. Oh, maybe you can. You have to maneuver it to g1, f3, and then by then you play knight e5. Having the knight on e5 will be monstrous. It will be such a good knight for white. And what can... Okay, knight f7, obviously, yes. And now the king. Yes, so this type of endgame, you have to give the task equally to both of your pieces, to the king and to the knight. So I think the knight on f3 is very well placed. It's going to attack the g6 pawn by playing knight e5. Okay, now I'm having some doubt again. How can you convert this? The knight cannot go to e5, and the king cannot really penetrate from the a file. Should you do something like e4, for example? I think you have to at some point, because you cannot just dance around with the knight and not progressing into something. I think you have to play e4. Yeah, you have to play e4, and it would be as if there are three pawns versus two pawns. Because you have to make use of this double pawn somehow. Like, it is as if white has an extra pawn. Okay, Harika has to really think, calculate. She has enough time on the clock. She shouldn't be panicking over anything. King c3. And now I think e4 is necessary. d4. I didn't expect this. Normally you wouldn't like to exchange the weakness of your opponents with any of your pieces or pawns. But thanks to this pawn structure, although there are only two pawns, it can hold three pawns of blacks. So now it is as if white has an extra pawn on the queen side. But can she win this? And meanwhile, Jiner has so low time on the clock. She only had 11 seconds before, even though there is a 3-second increment. Wait, knight e5 takes, I think it is only move, otherwise it's just going to be bad for black. I think black would lose some material if knight didn't take on e5. And now, okay, this is a winning pawn endgame, I guess. But white has to be careful of this g5 breakthrough. I think it is necessary to play a4 now. Or maybe this is actually what Jiner had in mind by exchanging the knight. And now king c5 is so tempting. But again, g5 is the breakthrough. So it requires some calculation. Okay, Harika has to calculate now because king c5 I think is the only chance for white to win the game if it works. If it doesn't work, then it's different story. But if white cannot play king c5, then black will play c5 herself, and it's just gonna be fortress, and it is a draw. So it is the critical moment now to play or not to play king c5. Hey, it's Grandmaster Gory. Shout out to Grandmaster Gory. Thanks for the raid. Hey, we're looking at the second game of the Blitz game between Grandmaster Harika Dronavalli versus Women Grandmaster Zhu Jiner. The current score is 3-2 for Zhu Jiner. This is the second game of the Blitz, and there will be 4 games to be played. So after this, there will be last two games. So Harika is already spending at least for a minute now, trying to decide whether king c5 will work. Actually, let's analyze this. King c5, g5. So you take with the f. King takes. And what do you have after this? Can take like this, but there is also f4. So it's probably risky to play that. It is risky. Yeah. Okay, I think... Oh, king c5 is on the board. I think you have to play it anyway. g5 has to be played now. There is no other way to continue. gf and king e5. Oops. King e5 and then king c6, f4. Probably king b and then f3. Oh, but that's doesn't look good for white. Ooh, I didn't see that. But isn't this is winning? Or this is still draw? No. Did Harika miss it? No. Oh, okay. It is still, I guess, a draw. But yeah, white had to try. This is a better position for white because the king is more advanced and the pawns are hanging. c6 and this one is also kind of hanging. But is it enough to win the game? Okay, you cannot take on c6 right now because the queen will take on a4. And I think the king has to go to c7, yeah. So queen a4, yes. Queen check, and then trying to get on this pawn. I think it's gonna be... Oh, I didn't see that again. And check on f5. This might be still drawn, I guess. Is it enough for black to win? I mean, for white to win? Because the pawn is still a bit too far. But I think now f5 is the... Okay, Harika is just trying to gain time by keep checking her opponent, which is very smart of her. And then now f5 is a good time because now queen g4 is protecting c4. And now this is the threat. Yeah, this position is better for white. But the question is whether it is enough to win the game. Queen g6. What about pushing on f6? Did she miss it? I think pushing on f6 is winning because there is no more check on the board. Yeah. Next move, push f6. There is no check. This queen cannot check on c7. And even now. Oh, I think she missed it. I think it would have been better to have f6 when the king was on f8. She missed it, yeah. Because when the king is on h8 after f6, this queen can just go to f8. And now f6. Yeah. Oh, that is such a good conversion by Harika. I didn't know this is beyond my expectation. This is such a nice endgame. No, this is a mastery. Really. Let's take a look. Okay, there will be a 10-minute break. But I just want to see this game again. This is so good. I loved it. Okay, I'll keep the engine on just to make sure that we have the right evaluation over the in game because this is really instructive. I might actually copy this game and then just to have it on my database to show my students. So H4. So the computer still evaluates this as an equalish game. G6, H3, G7, it is only move. King F7, E6. Yeah, you have to take on G7, that's force. And then King D6, yes. And then E7. Probably some queen moves by Jiner is incorrect. So here, Queen H6, Queen D1, Queen E4. Queen H6 is the first choice. Queen D1, it's second choice. I think this is still all right. And after King C7, Queen takes A4. It is still fine. And Queen E5. The king just has to go away, just away from the check, because the queen has to take on F5 eventually. What black cannot afford is for white to take on F5 with a check. That's something that Jiner missed. So Jiner played King G6 and then Queen E6. King G7 is still okay, but after here has to go back all the way to G8 again. Because what she did here, yeah, this is the mistake. Now she allowed Queen G5, and then wherever the king goes, the queen will take on F5 with a check. So this is what she missed. If she went back to G8, there's no chance for white to take on F5 with a check. So it will be a draw. In the end, I think white has to keep checking, and it's a perpetual, because imagine when the king is on G8 and then the queen, let's say, check here, and then now has to go to H8 to avoid the check. And if takes this, yeah, black has this. So and again, I think this is still drawn just because of the perpetual. So okay, but is that mistake that fatal? Like after King G6, okay, check. Here takes. Yeah, I know this is better for white, but it is here again the second mistake, and it's a huge mistake. See, anything can happen when you are just playing seconds on the clock. So this is a mistake, and what should have been done? King E7. King E7. What's the difference? King G7, and that was a mistake. Yeah, I think Harika should have played Queen G4 immediately, but again, both players in this moment, they only had, I don't know, less than 10 seconds on the clock, so that's why they were blundering. So okay, Queen E5 here, check again, and now Queen G5, and now we got this position, yeah, that we could have gotten it beforehand. King F7 is a mistake, yes, because of F5. Again, what should have been done? King F8. Oh, just to yeah, just going back to the square. I think King H8 also. Oh no, King H8 is not good. King F8, yeah, so that after F5 there is no more check on G6, for example. No, this is really instructive. I really like it. King F7, another blunder. F5, and this one. So it is, I think this queen has to go somewhere that that ensures there's a check on the next move. But this already +4 for white, so I think, yeah, this is already winning. Wow, the queen is kind of like restricted on the edge of the board. Yeah. So okay, they're still taking a break. I will close this first. And that was, I think, the final mistake. After this, yeah, F6 is the move. But okay, they played this a little bit, and after Wait, am I missing something again? Oh no, it's okay. Here and then f6 and queen g7 is inevitable. Wow, such a nice endgame conversion by Harika. Well done. And now the match is even. Yeah. Oh, thanks for joining Michigan Eagle. All right. I think we still have much time on the clock. Okay, let's play some game here. I think this guy was asking me earlier before. Okay, let's do it. It's casual, which is good. Where is he? He's challenging, but he's not present. Okay, he's here. Now, what should we play? Let's play Sicilian again. Okay, let's play knight c6. Okay, let's play e5. Make it like a closed position. D6. What to do here? What about if I play this? Bishop there. I think I can play bishop d7. Okay, I'll take this. And here. Yeah, I think my position is fine here. Or maybe I'm calling it too soon. Okay, I'm calling it too soon. I think, okay, I can just take this. I like taking pawns. I might be playing some risky move here because my king is still in the center. But okay, let's have fun. Oh, thank you. Thanks. I like to be useful for you guys. Check. Okay, bishop e7. I think I still have some options. Ooh. Okay. What to do here? Yeah. This is actually, I knew it. Such a pawn shouldn't be taken, but I was just, yeah, I just want to have fun. What to do? Queen here. This looks ugly for me. But okay, let's play it. And I'm not winning on the clock as well. And hello to who just joined with us. I'm streaming from San Luis right now. It's currently 4:43 in the morning, so it's almost 5 in the morning. Okay, at least time-wise, it's getting even. Wait, why? He has this queen a4, which gonna be a disaster for me. But this one, oh, this is not good. Wait, I can play f6 because if I castle, bishop takes e7. Oh man, even if I play f6 is, oh no, f6 is, wait, f6 there is what can be done? Let's go for f6 or not. Let's go for f6. Oh, that is the idea. So queen here. think that's only move. This is without increment again. Oh, I was mistaken. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. I have to be fast now. Okay, full focus mode on. Okay, this is fine. Exchange one thing off the board. Here. I have to catch the time as well. This is stressful. Ah, it's stressful. It's stressful. Lost my time. Such a winning end game. Oh no no no! I lost my time. Okay. Uh yeah. I spent so much time in the opening and some time in the middle game. I guess. Yeah. I should have just played quicker. Also. Thanks for the game. Oh, finally I lost one game now. Okay. I think we have to go back to the our games. Oh, they're already playing. They're already playing. Are they? Yes, they're already playing. So we are a bit late. Let's go from this angle. Okay, so the last two games of Blitz, it will be deciding the fate of the match because they're currently on the even score right now, 3-3. So last two games, it is going to be very exciting now. So let's quickly take a look since the first move, e4 g6. So they're kind of like repeating the modern defense, but now Zhu Jiner is not going for the King's Indian defense anymore, but more to like a modern defense perk type of position. Actually, okay, with this double fiancero, and this is a solid approach for black, but also a very dynamic approach for white. So this is going to be amazing because you see, still so many pieces on the board. Everything is still on the board. There's no trade yet. And then if this position, you know, normally in this type of position, white will just go on. Actually, I'm not sure. I was about to say that the king will go on a long castle, but this will be just a target of attack because the bishop is aiming there. This might be another idea and so on, but you never know. I think it is better to just keep waiting and then wait until your opponent castles and then you attack. So probably it's wise to just keep the king on the center, just not to get your opponents a clear idea. Because in such a shorter time control, if you keep giving opponents the clear idea, it would be better for them because they would just play according to your plan. They don't really have to bother coming up with their own plan. They will just have to keep going after your plan. So before knight e2, c5, yeah, Harika is very good in this type of setup. Even though white's pieces are looking very active, but still the king is still on e8. It hasn't castled yet, so white has no clear way to actually attack the king yet. And now Harika is already starting to attack the white's king, while indirectly still, by playing b4 c5. This bishop on g7 is standing so good. And now this bishop on b7 is getting better as well. Castle! Oh, wow! Oh, this is spicy. Yeah. Oh, sorry. I think I forgot to... Got it. Oh, this long castle, I can't believe my eyes, because white is just, walking into what black wanted to set up on. Like, definitely black is going to try to attack the queen side no matter what. And now white is just giving black the idea, okay, keep attacking, my king is here. But maybe with some move like f5 letter, it will be compensating the position, but I don't think so. Black is really good. I mean, black's position is really solidly attacking, while white's pieces are kind of cramped here and still has no clear idea on how to proceed or how to attack the black's king. Even if black is castling now, I think it's also a good move. This bishop on g7 is just killing. Oh, Jiner has really to be careful here. This is very dangerous position for her. And then this b3 is calling out for a5 and a4. This king is kind of alone. I mean, it has queen and rook, but that's pretty much it. Well, most of black's pieces are on the queen side, and then again, the bishop in g7 is the MVP in this position. But since this is blitz, anything can happen. Both of the players still have to be very careful not to miss anything in such a short time control. f5 is played just like as expected. I think it is easier for black to play compared to white, because white has to keep defending. And again, in shorter time control like this, in blitz especially, it is better to be an attacker than defender, because it will give you less time to think. But while being as a defender, you have so many things to consider about, and it will give you a more headache, and then you have to consider so many things. Okay, dc5, dc5, e5. This bishop has to be stopped at all costs. That's why e5 is being played. But now this move gives a concession that d5 is under control, that black has full control for d5. So this knight can just occupy here, I guess. I think it's going to be very good. Or it doesn't need to be occupied right now. I think a4 is a good move. But I think Harika will put something on d5, either the knight on b6 or the knight on e7. So let's see which one that she chose. Oh, but white has another counter idea here. There is knight e4, knight d6. This is also something that shouldn't be underestimated of. And Harika is now down to 1 minute and 20 seconds. Previously she was, I think, up for like a minute before. But now she has 1 minute less than Zhu Jiner's clock. So Harika has to start playing faster. Knight d5, just as expected. Knight e4, yes, these two are the best ideas for both sides, I guess. Castle, not to lose the right to castle after knight d6 check. So yes, now, oh, c5 was hanging. I didn't realize that. But I think that pawn, I think it's an important pawn. But again, there are still so many pieces on the board. So black still has chance to turn the table around. Bishop d6, probably now what to play here with the queen. Where to go with the queen? That's the question. If queen c6, there is knight d4. Okay, queen a7, probably now hoping the a4 idea will be working very well. This is the only idea that black has to continue in an aggressive manner. So will king b1 here be okay? Yeah, this looks still very scary for me, even though white is up a pawn, but black has all the initiatives. Because if we compare both kings here, the king on c1 and king on g8, no, they're really different. The king on c1 is looking like about to get mated, so it would be depending on how Jiner is defending this position. King b1, knight c3 is on the board. Wow, it looks like the king is cramped. Knight, yes, and now queen on c1. I think at some point it has to be taken, this pawn on b3, but I think Harika is taking her time. It is not the right time yet. This knight d5 is a very good, it's a very good knight. It is a very good outpost. The knight is defending everything and also attacking a4, also attacking this square. Look at this queen, it cannot move. The only place it can move is a3, but is it a good square for the queen? And in the meantime, Harika is preparing a takes b3. And time-wise, both players have similar time on the clock. And again, in this position, black is attacking. So black has somewhat easier play than white. f5, white has to think of something about counter-attack. And now this position happened. Oh my gosh, this is quite scary. c2 was played. Did Harika miss? Oh no, Harika didn't miss mate in one. I thought Harika missed mate in one. But yeah, c2 is necessary to stop the control of the rook over a2 pawn. And now if rook takes c2, the knight will just go to c3, and then now it's a checkmate on the board. It's 3 wins in a row for Harika. When she was down 2 points before, she evened the score, and now she's actually leading the match. It's just wow. It's such a impressive comeback. And now we're going to see the last game of the match, and Jiner has to win the match to equal the score. But Harika is such in a winning streak. It is unstoppable. Wow. We will see the last game very soon. Wow. I think it is all right to give the player some break right now. Because isn't it I'm very nervous. Even I don't play the game, but I'm getting nervous after each move, like especially with even shorter and shorter time control. You don't have much time on the clock to decide anything or any move. You just have to play a practical chess. Sometimes you have to be impulsive, and it's just amazing to see how things work out for Harika. It clearly shows how experienced she is as a player, especially in this type of match. That also it shows how incredible her mentality is. Imagine she was down by 2 points, and then she just being a beast for the next 3 games. Amazing. Okay, is the next game coming up soon? I think, yeah, they're getting ready. Jiner is already ready, and then Harika is, I think, will be coming soon. Hopefully, there's no more internet issues. Yes, Harika is ready now. Let's see. They will be playing anytime soon, in a minute or two. Okay. Look at the face of both players. They're so focused. They know that this is the final game that will decide the whole thing. Okay, here we go. Let's see it from the white side as usual. So I will follow Harika now. Okay, starting with G3 again. She's been successful in this opening, so there's no reason to change it. Going for C4. Will she go for double fianchetto or Catalan? It would be depending on this move right now. Double fianchetto is the choice. D4, E3, yes. So compared to the first game of Blitz where these players play very kind of slowly, even though this is a Blitz game, now on the fourth game of the Blitz, they already picked up their pace and then they play very fast. And yeah, both of them, I think, already very warmed up. Knight e5 on the board, and now Jiner started to think a little bit longer. Knight bd7. An exchange with the knights on d7, and now I think bishop d2 or d3. Bishop b2 or d3 could be Harika's next move. D3 is chosen. And okay, e5 is usually also a good move here to be played. And then probably rook b8 and then b6, bishop b7. This can be a strategy for black to develop the pieces. But again, black has a few other options as well. Jiner chose to play rook e8, and it is always a useful move. And probably now e5 is necessary, because this pawn on d4, sooner or later, it has to be supported. But there's no rush to play e5. Yes, queen c7 is a good preparation move. Bishop a3. Will Jiner take the bishop on a3? Yes, she did. Takes. Okay. e5 finally played. b4. Wow. Again, this match is just showing the mastery of both players. I'm very happy to actually witnessing it myself, because there are so many good games coming up from this match, and also both of them show a very great mentality and understanding of this game. Knight f6, and now I think Jiner will try to develop this bishop. I think Harika's task is rather easier this time. I mean, on the last game, she is playing with white pieces, and all she needs is just a draw to win the match. So knight f6, knight b5, attacking the queen. Where will the queen go? Probably to b6. And after that, a6 can be played, and bishop maybe can go to f5 or g4 even. Yes, queen b6 already played. I like a4 here. Yes. So after a6, there is this move c5 and then knight d6. And it cannot be stopped. Wow, c5 cannot be stopped. The knight will stand on d6 anyway. Okay, unless there is bishop g4 right now, but the queen can just easily move away. Let's say to d2, and then the next move will be c5 knight d6. But Harika has 1 minute up than Zhu Jiner, so she can totally relax and think carefully, calculate everything. Queen d2 is on the board. I don't see how black can stop this idea with c5 and knight d6, and after that, I think the position is just looking much better for white. I think queen b6 was a mistake. But what else can black do? I mean, probably going back to d8 was a better option. Okay, rook e7, c5, and now knight d6. I think it's already an automatic move. Or maybe some move like h3 could be useful as well, but no, knight d6 is played. And a5, it is to prevent b6, I would say. Not really preventing it, but at least now it is preventing it. b6 will never be able to be played. h3, okay, this position is looking really good for... Oh! Jiner hang a piece! Jiner hang a piece and immediately resign. Wow! Wow! What a final position for Harika, and what a final score for Harika as well. She just being a beast. She won the 4 games in Blitz. That is totally amazing. Wow. Well done. It was clearly a mouse slip, but I think, to be objectively speaking, if this position, I think it is better for white anyway. Oh, okay. What a turnout. I think we will join the player soon on the Zoom. So I will open my Zoom, and our organizer, Mr. Muhammad Modiaki, will also join us in the Zoom. So, but before that, let's speak with the players. Hi guys. Well done, Harika, for the win. Wow, I didn't expect. What an impressive comeback by you, like just being a beast in the Blitz. So, how do you feel?
No, I feel extremely happy after some couple of bad games. I was really, really angry at myself, and I really wanted to win some games. And I think that's where it came from. I just thought, like, I don't have choice. I just have to win.
I see. Yeah. Obviously, I mean, I'm rather speechless right now to see, like, especially the conversion that you did in the games. Um, but yeah, in the rapid game, when you're playing black, yeah, when there was a Catalan game, yeah, it was kind of a bit, I think, out of tune of you. Like, I think you didn't feel the game, and then you lose rather easier on that game. But you came back with such amazing games in the Blitz. So, yeah, very well done. Is there anything that you'd like to say, especially any specific game that you would like to commentate?
I'm quite happy with all my blitz games. At least they were decent. I was trying. I think the first rapid game I was better. I was
Uh
just
huh.
angry at
Sorry.
myself for missing bishop into h4.
Uh huh.
And like I said, I couldn't, like, after losing the classical game with white, I just couldn't forgive myself. It was hard for me the whole day. And then again, I lost in rapid, so I had to really compose myself and believe that I could do it. So yeah, I think it will be a sweet experience.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Well, once again, well done, and thanks for showing us such a good spirit, such a strong mentality. Even after down 2 points, you still, play very strongly, and make a very great comeback. So thank you, and I'd like to continue with Jiner. Yeah, such a pity how the match turned out for you, but how did you feel overall?
Yeah, okay. It's not a very hard English for me, and okay, I should improve my opening because
Mm-hmm.
many games I thinking a lot of time in the opening, and then I don't uh, I don't have enough time to think in later. So I think I must improve my opening.
I see. Well, I think in my point of view, I think your opening is fine. I think, yeah, it's just quite unfortunate for you how things turn out. But I think you've been playing such a good game as well, especially I think it was the first game of the Rapid you played very. It was the fourth uh, game. So the second game of Rapid when you played Catalan, you just made a very clean conversion, and it was such a good game by you. Just very very instructive as well. Yeah. So thank you again for showing us good games for both of you, and now we're going to hear a little some words or two by our organizer, Mr. Mohammed Modiaki. Thanks for joining us, Mohammed.
Hi, hello.
Yes.
Yes, first I would like to thank both players, Harika and Zhu Jiner, for playing this friendly match. Although it was very friendly match, but okay, it was very interesting match at the same time. I hope the audience enjoyed the games during the last 3 days. Also would like to thank Liches and Mr. Chris Callahan for broadcasting the match on Liches channels. I thank you, Irene.
My
It's
pleasure.
been it's been 3 nights for you. I know it's late or early morning time for you in USA.
Yes.
Also, would like to thank the match arbiter Laurent for his work during the last week with us. I would like finally to say congratulations to Harika. Hard luck to Ju. I was watching most of the games, except today's the Blitz games. I couldn't watch them, and I thought Judiner had a good chance to win the match, but Harika, she won 4 Blitz games, which is incredible. I would, I'm ready for some questions if you have any questions, Irene.
Yeah. So, how did you come up with this idea? I mean, it's always good to see so many support, especially by Qatar Chess Association. I know that Qatar Chess Association has always been a great supporter for chess, and now it is also supporting for this women's friendly match. How did you come up with this idea?
Actually, this match is also the idea of Shenzhen Chess Club, and we came with this idea, of course, to improve the young talent Zhu Jiner for the future. I also have to mention that the prize money is around $15,000. It will be divided between the winners, between the 2 players. And it's also part of supporting women's chess. I think it's very important, especially, that my wife is Zuchen, and she's also trying to improve the situation of women's chess around the world. Yeah, this is mainly the idea.
Will there be another friendly match going to be organized by the Qatar Chess Association in the near future?
Yes, I think we are planning to organize more matches in the future. Yes.
That is such a great news. Thank you so much, Mohammed. This is a
Thank you.
pleasure to be here, a pleasure to be a commentator and watching directly such a great match between Harika and Zhu Jiner. And yeah, thank you to you and to Zhu Chen as well for supporting women's chess all the way. And I believe this is not going to be the last of your support. So I really appreciate for all your efforts.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's something to appreciate. That they're having such matches for women's chess. I think as if we see more and more, it will be lovely opportunity for women players.
Engineer, do you have any last words to say?
Thank you very much for organizing the match. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. I think I will end the stream now, and I think we have ended it in a high note. So thank you so much, everyone who is watching. It was such a pleasure to be here and to be your commentator. And I hope everyone is taking a good care of health and have a good holidays. And yeah, have a good night or have a good afternoon for everyone. Okay, thank you so much. Thank
to
you.
the arbiter also.
Yeah, thank you, Lauren, for being a very good arbiter.
Always a pleasure. Thanks.
Okay. All right, I will end the stream now. Thank you so much, guys.
Take care, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, great. Thanks for.
Okay, thank you so much for those who are watching. It's been a pleasure. I think we've been almost streaming for like 4 hours, and it is my nighttime right now. It's 4:16 in the morning in St. Louis, USA, and I've been your host, Irene Sukandar. Thank you so much once again, and see ya.